What's up, guys? Welcome back to a first annual podcast of Dice and Destiny, the D&D podcast. Here with two awesome nerds and one retarded one. We take it to your host, William
Figure
Blackwood.
that out yourself.
And now, introducing your host.
Come on, Shelby. Oh, sorry. Okay. Hey, everybody. So this is gonna be the podcast that we put on for our D&D sessions, our D&D campaign. We're going to be in today's episode, we're going to be talking a bit about the prologue and everything up until where we are now in the campaign.
That's a lot.
Today,
That's a lot.
This is this isn't like a podcast. This is like a. Thought we were just gonna talk about D&D.
I mean, we will, but
we gotta talk about this lame ass game. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Lame ass game.
Yeah.
Come on, you got an old guy sleeping in it. Come on.
You know, old guy
sleeping
or
drunk.
Half
it takes horse tranquilizers to stay in the combat.
Yeah. So actually, I guess that will be
riddled with ecstasy.
That's a good topic, I guess.
That would be a good first place to start. Yeah, about John. So
the positives and the negatives of horse tranquilizers on your D&D character.
Yeah, horse tranquilizers and major amounts of alcohol. Jesus.
Oh god.
So where did the concept for John start with?
I don't know. I wanted to make kind of a Witcher character, just a basic badass dude with a sword. That's what I wanted. And yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is old and athletic.
Old and athletic.
That's fair.
Dude, he's widowy athletic.
Widowy. Yeah, he's widowy athletic.
He's not. Oh, no, I was gonna say he's not even a monk, but he is. But not.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So.
I mean, he's about to be four fucking classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. We can actually count it up real quick. So he has two
in fighter, 2 in ranger, 2 in monk, and then it's gonna be 1 in barbarian.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get the rage, so I can do more.
Yeah,
do more damage because I don't cast spells. So
it is very true. It's very true.
I did think I was either gonna try to either get the archetype for fighter, ranger, or monk. I didn't know if I was gonna do that, or get possibly. I don't know what route I want. I kind of am thinking of maybe putting 3 in barbarian and going totem. To just
that would be a good one.
1 doing lots of damage, and then 1 being resistant to a lot of damage.
So would you go bear totem then?
Yeah. Obviously.
Okay.
So that's the only totem you go. If you go any other totem other than bear, you're fucking insane.
Hey, bro, don't hate on duck. Don't hate on duck, okay?
They're atrocious. Compared to bear, resistance to all damage, except for 1, there's 13 damage types. And you're resistant to all of them but 1.
All of them but 1, yep. That's now, pretty
overpowered. It is your ultimate weakness, but still, there is almost nothing better you can get.
In any case, isn't John already resistant to psychic damage?
I don't know. You'd have to look at it.
Because if he is, then he would literally be. You'd be resistant to all of it.
Oh wait, I think the sword might.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
I can't remember.
Let me pull it up. It up.
That's where I think it's coming from, is the sword.
Okay.
Yeah, cause I know I have like.
You are.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
Resistant to psychic and immune to being charmed.
Yeah, because of the sword.
Yes, they are both.
So with the bear
totem,
from you would be resistant to all damage types.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's honestly that. It's either that or trying to go to somewhere that gives me more damage / mobility.
Yeah.
Which would be more of a monk archetype.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then again, that's down the road. I mean, technically, I'm gonna more than likely, I'm 99% sure that I'm gonna do Barbarian at least to level 1. If
Yeah.
not to, what do you get at level 2? Just Danger Sense, right?
I think so. Yeah.
The danger sense and
Oh yeah, because
I think it's
Ellis was
unarmored movement too. No,
No, you
unarmored.
get that with your rage.
Oh, the natural armor. Okay,
Yeah,
or whatever
that's
the fuck
basically
it is.
just when you start.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So
Ooh, wait, Trevor, what armor is John wearing? It's medium, isn't it?
He is. Hold on.
Yeah, you guys. I'm not starting my computer up to look at it.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah. Medium armor breastplate.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I was like, wait, because if I have my armor, because you can't be raged while wearing heavy armor, because you lose all of the perks.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah, you were
unless
that
you're a
works.
battle rager.
Yeah, you were definitely wearing medium armor.
I would say the only thing that really sucks with quadruple multi-classing is that you don't get any extra attacks with the 4 classes that give you extra attacks.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm running all 4
Yeah.
classes that give you extra attacks. I have yet to get one.
Yep.
I mean, I do have Action Surge, but
So I mean, maybe that could be a either like a feat or a trait that you try to pick up from a teacher along the way, or something like that. Teach the old man to be nimble once more, or maybe that's why. Maybe that's why you don't attack multiple times.
Nimble?
Because you're old.
what? You're talking about the guy who did a quadruple front flip over a guy he just killed the guy in front of you, and then blew you a kiss and went and started fighting the rest?
Yeah, like I said, you still
That guy.
stumbled a bit, but still.
Stumbled? Listen,
Okay.
just because I get tired because of my narcolepsy doesn't mean
You're gonna swing the sword and pass out one day.
it never passes during combat. Only
Not
after
yet.
combat because it was a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And my narcolepsy, it's my narcolepsy, 100%. Totally my narcolepsy, not my old age.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's a question. So whenever we first met John Steele, right, he was locked up in the tower with the rest of the party members. What was he doing in that tower?
You got captured, remember? You got captured with the rest of y'all. Because I was a mercenary for hire. So I was investigating the group, and they captured me, and I just wrong place, wrong time, or happy coincidence.
Okay.
You may put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I say mercenary for hire, but the greatest mercenary of all time. So.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. He can keep that one. So what is up with the squirrel? What is up with the Ratatasker dude?
Took inspiration from God of War, and I needed, being somebody who is considered a witcher, I needed a creative way to get my witcher potions back. So I made a squirrel that I met along the line, potions, and we kind of formed a pact. I saved his life. He makes me potions. And
Okay.
he has minor spell casting, so he basically just lives in the kind of his own dimension / workshop, kind of like what you have. And it's not like an actual dimension. It's more or less like he just lives. Yeah. Well, basically, I'm not gonna spoil it because it could be down the road. He lives in a place that a squirrel is the only person that can access it. But instead of having to take that long journey back out, he just uses magic to get out of it.
Okay, I see what you're talking about, kind of with the whole like the way the dwarves travel in God of War.
Yeah.
They just sort of walk behind a corner.
I just realized that
there.
connection. I was like, wait, I didn't realize how. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Like, I just literally just saying that out loud makes me realize how close it is to the game.
Mhm.
Okay. Oops.
But I
didn't
mean,
mean
that's
to be
good.
that
I mean,
close.
I
that's
mean,
still
it's
fun.
good though because it's
Yeah.
it's still majorly based on it, which is good. It's not like it's Brock and Sindri out there. You have your own version of Ratataskar doing the way the dwarves travel.
Basically, Ratatast and Brock and Sindri combined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is really dope to think about.
Just without Ratatast's stupid, and same thing with Brock and Sindri.
Yeah. Okay. So, hmm. What about you, Mr. DM? What did you think about the Clockwork Tower and the events that followed after?
The events that followed. Okay. Well,
Up to getting to the gate of Black Hollow.
okay, so what? That was like the first
So like
3 episodes, right?
yeah, so that was like the
Not there
Clockwork
for those.
Tower.
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
You were there for
No,
like
what? Oh.
half of the first one.
Yeah.
Well, I was there for the clock, and then
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened.
Here, let me
And then Zarlius got taken.
Yep. You were there for
Why
that
is
one.
Yeah, you were there for that because you woke him up and I knocked him out
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
like immediately after.
Okay.
Well, I remember fighting the clock thing, but then
Yeah. So you were there for the
Then you
first
had to solve the
His old
puzzle.
man
So-
memory's getting to him.
Yeah, no, you were there for the first episode. You were not there for the second episode. You were there for the third
I
episode.
missed a lot of episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, you were there for the third episode though. Because that was when you guys were in the Shadow Forest.
Yeah, like the third, fourth, fifth, probably.
the f-
Missed the sixth.
No, you were in the sixth.
Then-
You were in the fifth and the sixth. You weren't in the third or the fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you were in the eighth. And part of the ninth. So yeah. But yeah, no, Clockwork Tower, that was fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was fun. There a lot of stuff did happen really quickly though. I was not gonna lie. A lot of like you guys went, found Zarlius, who was separated from the main group, and also assessed all of your guys' damages, except for John.
Yeah, it was
You gotta chop his leg off?
cold. He was, yeah, you did.
You cauterized it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we chopped it off and then
Yeah, you did.
cauterized it.
Yeah, you definitely did.
I was like, wait.
Um,
I was like, wait. I think we have a solution.
Like, no,
Yeah.
it's off.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, fuck it."
No, like
forgot
those.
about that.
Yeah, that was good. The searching the tower was pretty good on William's part.
Yeah.
You were able to find a few things and also battle a giant clockwork machine as well as a mage.
Which I found the blueprints to.
Yes,
Which
you
is
found,
awesome.
You found blueprints to all of the clockwork mechanisms you guys fought. So the first 4 things you guys fought, you have blueprints for. You know, obviously containing or getting and obtaining some of the components are gonna be a task, but you're able to make like the first couple. So
Yeah.
it was the first
can
two, the scrapper and the one with the sword and shield you can make, but the other 2
Okay.
you can't right now.
So say I wanted to make some modifications on him instead of him being a scrapper, maybe him being a worker, like him being able.
Yeah.
I make one and then leave him in the workshop. That way, I don't have to spend so much time making shit.
Yeah, you can make it, and you can kind of like train him how to work on some things, and he should be able to be modified into a worker.
Okay, that's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Yeah. I would say the stuff that led up after that, and just like some of the other things that were going on in there. There is still a mystery of the Clockwork owner. You guys still don't know who that is yet, but you know that's eventually going to come up later down the line.
We're trying to find this unrelated chick right now.
Yes, you guys are also doing something else in the current
side character.
Yeah, current situation. You're trying to find some side characters. But yeah, leading up to Black Hallows, you had the Shadow Forest, which you guys were introduced to the first ever monster and ever being that I had a hand in creating. So called the Shadow Stalkers, and those things look amazing and were pretty terrifying because they hunt in packs.
And they're
like
on two
amazingly
legs.
dead.
Yeah, and yeah, and most of them are pretty much dead because of your guys' fight in the Shadow Forest.
Most of them, but
yeah.
we killed all of them, right?
You killed
No,
you
still
you killed
you
killed the 5 that were there, but
I feel like, how about this? Let's talk about the fucking mushroom guy. What's his name?
Name?
Let's talk about name.
Talk about name. Okay, so name.
Okay, what do you want to know about
the most
name?
overpowered fucking character.
Well,
he's got these ridiculous spells.
You leave my son alone. You leave my son alone.
Well, first off,
the motherfucker's built different.
First off,
yes, he is. Goddammit, yes, he is.
Yeah. First off, name comes from the prologue. And actually, he comes pretty far in the prologue. I'm pretty sure he was introduced in episode 5.
Event Horizon. Yep.
Yes, Event Horizon.
What?
I guess I can actually take the story over there for Tyler.
Oh, you're talking about the pre one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that reminded me because I was looking at your YouTube channel and like looking at the videos. So I was trying to find some stuff, and I was like, "Wait, I thought it was on 5. Oh, wait, no, this
wrong
is
5.
Wrong
5. Yeah. No, yeah. So for everybody who is tuning into this for the first time and have no idea what is going on
either channel,
on
either live on mine or
on anything, is at the very start of this campaign, it was myself, William, and then 2 others of our friends, Arden and Zarlius. We started this as just a normal little small home game, and then I met Tyler at work, or John here, and brought him along. So that's why he was introduced by voice in episode 10 of the prologue, but was fully introduced in episode 1 of the actual campaign as John Steele. But to talk about that, we have a 10-episode prologue, which is kind of like our session 0 or beginning of the game, where
that's a long-ass session 0.
Yeah, this took place a year ago, and it was really just because we were all trying to get into the whole like swing of things.
I love how this is all new for me.
Yeah.
Literally part of the campaign, and I don't even know this shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so the prologue, for me, what I think the prologue was like, it was all of us getting used to it, trying to get our schedules used to it.
It was trying to get our schedules used to it. It was also me, first time ever playing D&D and being a DM at that.
Yeah.
So obviously we started off with one of the adventure books, the Stormwreck Isle. It's one of the basic adventure books you can get at any of the local stores. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. It just took forever because of our schedules. So that is why it took us a while to do the first 10 episodes. To finally,
there were like some month gaps.
Yeah, there were some month gaps, and that was just so that way we could get the feel of our characters, because it was the first time that all of them had created these characters for this story. I was still trying to figure out how to lead them into the actual campaign as well. So doing an adventure book to start off seemed like the best bet. And
100%.
And with this, not only did I choose a really good starter book to start them off, it ties into our main campaign heavily. Like, it's so wild.
Give a quick description of the adventure book.
So
yeah,
in shortest words as you can.
Okay, yeah, I got you. So y'all arrive on an island called Stormwreck Isle, right? You meet the inhabitants of the town. The town says, "Yo, there's a blue dragon fucking with us." You go, "I bet I'll take care of it." Go and take care of it. Well, what happened with us is in between X and Y, right?
Yes.
William got possessed by an ancient spirit, found an ancient sword, and that's when he adopted his son, Name. That is how Name came about.
Yeah.
He was in a cave. He found Name in a little corner. Name was like, "Help me, please." And Will was like, "What is your name?" And he's like, "I ain't got one." He's like, "I bet your name's Name."
That is literally how the conversation happened.
That
I'm
is
not even
exactly
joking.
how it happened.
I'm not even joking. I was like lost for words.
And so, I mean, eventually it just stuck, and now it's like, it's not going to change. Name is Name.
It
and that's my
stuck,
boy.
And yeah, his name is Name. He will forever be named Name, and it's going to be a hell of a conversation starter.
Oh, yeah. But after that,
maybe your plot twist is that he gets a named on the.
I mean, he could already have one, but
yeah, he does a little spoilers
Little
for everyone
teaser.
out there. There's a father out there looking for him.
Yeah, who is a barbarian mushroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Not the barbarian mushroom.
Hold on, I have the character. Let me see if I can find it.
Share your screen whenever you get it pulled up.
Yeah. Okay. So just a tidbit, guys. This is a. Oh, God damn. This is a slight teaser and spoiler, and will be shown way later down the line, guys.
Yeah,
because
everyone will eventually forget this. Yeah.
Well, yes, we'll all forget about this. The only reason why I'm saying this is because one, the character's level, and two, because it is going to be revealed way later down the line. Like I said,
here we go, guys.
We have level 16 barbarian Fun Gus.
Wait. Did you just say Fungus?
Yes.
Yep, that's his name.
Fungus is his name.
I hate so much.
Yes.
That name is the most amazing name ever, and it makes me hate you.
And he has berserker hand axes. He has two dual wielding hand axes. But yes, this is Name's father, who will be introduced way later down the line. I might be teasing him at some point in an end story, or maybe even a cover story.
Well,
maybe Mumbo and Fun Gus. Mumbo and Blep run across Fun Gus. You know?
Yeah. Which that. And speaking of, guys, I'll tell you this: 2 other characters from the prologue, Mumbo and Blep, who are two kobolds that were on the island.
Homies, and they are introductory members.
Yes.
Official introductory honorary members.
They are honorary members of
forever.
How did you take this turn?
Whatever name you guys decide to choose later down the line. They are honorary members. And they are currently on a journey. I will at some point release their little cover story. But again, another little teaser for that is it's going to be, or trying to be, I guess, a little comedy story on their little adventure trying to find William, William, Arden, and Zarlius, because they haven't met John Steele yet. But they are on the search for their friends. And they have met Name as well, so if they do run into Fun Gus, then they might have some tidbit into that, and there is a chance of at some point you guys meeting. That'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, the prologue was fun, although it did last a while. But it was also a good introductory for us to try to get back into like for everybody who had played D&D before, which is everybody but me, trying to get everybody back into playing D&D.
I thought you said like
Almost
half
full
half the
time.
players
Yeah, no, like
didn't really play
well,
D&D.
they did, but they haven't like played like in full campaigns. I don't believe.
Ah,
I
so
think
probably like campaigns that lasted like an episode or two.
yeah, I think
I-
only you two are the ones that have been in multiple campaigns.
Shit,
Yeah, I
I'm
was
in
gonna say
3
like
campaigns right now.
So
the longest one I ever been in besides this was the very first one I was in, and that was about 6 or 7 months every week.
Shit. Mine's 2 years, 2 months.
Damn, Bobby.
Was my first ever campaign.
yeah.
That
Hell yeah, dude.
So
I'll give a little. How about I get a little vent before we continue about this
Oh yeah, good.
yeah.
campaign of ridiculous proportions. So, it's gone through 2 DMs. We're on our second DM. The first one didn't want to do it anymore, so somebody else picked up the stick. Okay, so that's a little that story. But the first one was better than the second one because the second one is a what do they call rules lawyer?
Mhm.
What do they call them?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, rules lawyer.
And
Yeah,
just by the letter, whatever the letter says is what happens. There's no leniency.
By the book.
There's no yes, and it has made the campaign extremely unfun.
Yeah.
And I'll just give an example. So we were put. This is again. I'm the youngest person out of this group. I'm only 23. They're all like 26 and 30. But we usually only do about 4-hour sessions because everyone has lives and they like to leave. Stop about 10 through 12. Well, this session we were fighting one of our big bosses, which was like I think a rolling hamster from One Piece. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Trevor knows what I'm talking about.
I probably do.
Yeah, no,
He's got like a squishy voice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what we were fighting. And we were just trying to end it. We were trying to get it over with. Everyone's getting tired. We're just trying to fight. I'm just using everything. I'm basically just not using things that are supposed to be used just to get it done. I have a javelin of lightning currently. And so I have thrown it. I was going to pick it up and then throw it as my action. So I was like, I'm going to pick up my javelin. And he's like, well, that's your action. So what did you want to do? And I was like, picking up an item is not an action. So we had a little bit of an argument, and it says right here on his one page that it is, but we've pulled up 4 sources in in Dungeons or D&D Beyond on our sheets that have like a kind of overview of everything, like that we actually have printed out in our books. Another source from Roll20 and Wikidot, and he's like, no, it says right here, no. And so I was furious. I was so upset. It's just because I was like, whatever. Then that's the end of my turn. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna hold it.
Just stand there, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was the end of my turn. And so already pissed off. We're trying to finish this. It's just like I was done. That's the only reason I feel like we have kept playing that game is because we're all friends and we love hanging out with each other. It's basically a joke now because we basically just make. Well, no, I say like it's a joke. We have a great time, other than when we're actually playing D&D and that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
But we're all just fucking comedians, and we just make jokes 24/7. 70% of them are sexual, and it's hilarious. We have one player who's basically a voice actor, but for like noises.
Okay.
And so how it started with him is he was there one night on one of our campaigns, and we were in a forest, and he was like, "You're fighting this kind of whatever creature. It has like a weird kind of up voice growl, whatever." And we were like, "Casey, go make this noise," and he goes, He does it. I can't even remember. It was literally like a year and a half ago, and he does it, and we're like, he's. The first DM was like, "Yeah, that's fucking spot on, perfect, thank you," and then he goes back to playing Call of Duty. So it's just also lazy writing.
Yeah.
Not they're both of the DMs are kind of lazy. They just didn't. It's more or less ADHD. I wouldn't say lazy. I mean, I'm a DM now, and Trevor's a DM. You know how hard it is to sit down and actually start writing.
Yeah.
Especially when I've said that I'm going to work on my towns and I still haven't. So it's fine. Oh, I got hiccups. But it's just it's if it wasn't for how fun the people are to hang with, we probably would have stopped playing a long time ago.
Yeah. That's totally understandable. I get that.
It's like we almost don't even go to play for D&D. We just go because
Just to hang
everyone's
out.
going to be there.
It's just the friends at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Like shit. You know what's fucking crazy? 2.5 years, or almost 2 years and 2 months. We are only level 6.
Damn.
That's wild.
There is no leniency in XP, nothing. There's just this is what you got. Split it 7 ways, 6 ways. Like we had one where it's a funny story. We murdered an entire village on accident. Basically, we were still all new, and we were trying to talk to people. Well, one of the guys went into the house and woke up one of the elders. Well, then he got mad and started attacking. We were like, well, there's nothing we can do. Let's just fucking kill everybody. Well, the problem is we're like level 2, so you get like one attack, and there's like 50 fucking villagers.
Yeah.
And so we're all just swinging. People are missing. I'm hitting because my strength is already insane. And then I have like a +7 to hit. So it's like I'm always hitting, but I can only hit once. So it's just 1. All right, I still have 15 surrounded me. 1. So that's 15 rounds of combat before I can even get through them. Guess how much XP we got each for that?
Like not even 1,000.
Just for each of us, each character.
Oh, damn, so not even 1,000.
Say how many characters?
There was, I wouldn't say 4 or 5 at the time.
Like 100.
35.
Damn.
For 4 to 5 hours of combat.
Holy shit, I would be so mad.
Yeah. We were so upset. And there was no leniency. It was just like, I'm sorry, God. It's just they're villagers. What do you expect? And I was like, well, you could have, thrown a little bit in there, just like, you can give XP for no reason. That's why it's called milestone.
No, honestly, that would have been a milestone because you just you completely evaporated in a village.
Oh yeah, we didn't even clean it up. We killed them. We killed the children. We tied them up, and they were still like mind controlled, which I forgot to answer that. And then we killed them, and then we just left. We just left.
They only tied up the children. YouTube. That's all. They didn't hurt them.
Well, because those are the only ones we could restrain because there's too many. They're the last ones to be corrupted.
No. D&D's weird, guys. Don't take anything with the grain of salt. D&D's weird. It's just a story,
I found the absolute perfect saying. So I've basically just been watching Critical Role, the first campaign. I'm on 38, 39.
Okay.
They just beat the Briarwoods. And they're about to do whatever.
Okay.
So I'm just watching it. I'm doing whatever.
Williams from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so William is from Whitestone. Yeah.
So basically just doing whatever. And I'm just kind of, sometimes my mind will wander and I'm like, oh, maybe I need to kind of understand spells better because we have a spellcaster and he's really creative. So I need to kind of learn some more. Well, I came up to a video of like how DMs handle players when they don't want them to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first one was like rules lawyers. And the saying was, the rules are for me, not for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as the DM, the rules are for me, not for you.
Yep.
I will tell you what the rules are, and you will You have to abide by them. They are the rules.
Yeah.
And luckily, in my campaign currently, Trevor's in it, and the other person, they understand. They're both like, it's fine with me, because so far they love it. At least of what they've told me, is I am extremely lenient. If you want to do something, the dice will tell you if you can, not me. Unless it's, something crazy. My only thing was like, don't break the rules. Like, don't like go over and beyond. Just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I will let you do it. I'm not gonna go, well, the book says because this rock has green moss on it that you can't do that. And I'll go, you can fucking try. That's like Matt Mercer says, his greatest saying.
You can certainly
you
try.
can certainly try. Yep.
Yeah, that's
and I feel
that's
like that's
exactly how I'm doing it.
Doing.
Yeah, that's exactly how I've been doing it. So again, for people who are watching this, I have not read any of the rule books. I have not read any of the rules. I just know a decent amount of them.
Yeah, exactly. If you read the rule books, just like they're fucking genre or a magazine, you're fucking to jail immediately to jail.
Yeah, you need to go to jail.
How can you just read it?
Honestly, for me, I feel like if I did do that, it was just so that way I would know what the rules are. But for right now, honestly, we're just having fun playing the game, and that's honestly what I'm here for. That's honestly what I'm doing. It's what I'm here to do. It's what you guys are here to do. So I've been loving our campaign so far. Even though the prologue took forever, I still love the prologue. I still love the ties that it has to the main campaign. I still love the interactions that everybody had with the characters. And then even now with the new characters that have come up, it's great. You guys' interactions with them have been wonderful so far. That's why I cannot wait for you guys to meet some of the other NPCs I have planned, and some of them
fucking everybody wants to bully me.
Yeah, and some of them I haven't even created yet. Man. So and then there's that.
Literally everybody bullies me, and I don't know why. I'm literally have helped and saved the whole party so many times.
You have,
and everyone's just like, "Fuck you, Gramps," and I'm like, "What the fuck did I do?" Dude, somebody performed the twist and dick from the UFC on me.
What?
They grabbed my dick and twisted it. You remember that? What was that? Episode 8, 10?
No, it was It was episode 5 with introducing Fuller and
I think it was 6
and all that.
Oh,
it was the fight. No, it was the fight at the tavern. Yeah, that was episode 5.
Motherfucker, and I would have been dead too if we did it right.
Yep. Yeah.
I could not break the dice hated me that day.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And honestly,
that was so funny because literally, right after that, I went back to read the rules because I was like, I don't think John should have been awake that damn long.
Yeah.
It was literally 3 to 5 turns.
Yeah, it was.
That man held me.
And then honestly, see guys, with episode 5 of the main campaign, which I am actually going to rename from New Companions to New Allies, because you guys know why. Because you guys know why now.
We made that rule for a reason.
If you've looked in our D&D chat, you'll know why. But I will rename the episode at some point here, probably in a little bit. But we had fun that episode. Because
that was a pretty fun episode.
It was literally just you guys messing around the entire time, and I just loved it. I loved your guys' interactions because it was really stupid.
We're gonna talk about the end where John sprinted he had to take a shit to bed.
Yeah, he just ran up to his room.
He had 30 seconds before he collapsed from exhaustion.
Yeah, he did.
Motherfucker said, "Slumber!" right into the bed. He leapt from as soon as he opened the door. "Give me a room, thank you!" And then just grabbed a key off the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about episode 5 and the bar fight, having fun with that. A little bit after that was the investigation, where
yes, it was.
Yeah, where William and John had to go and find the Crimson Hand, the Crimson Rose,
Yes,
something
the
like
Crimson Hand and the Bleeding
that. The Crimson
Rose.
Hand. Yeah. And they did. They ended up finding them. And walking into that building was
I will say though, you guys finding them was fun.
Mhm.
It was really fun to see you guys try to locate the building.
Yeah,
Oh,
while
yeah.
trying to stop William from fucking killing everybody.
Oh no, that's fucking impossible.
Motherfucker turned friendly fire off.
Oh yeah, always. It's always off. What?
Jesus.
Bro, these hands and these guns are rated E for everybody.
Understatement of the year.
Oh yeah. So John, what did you think about the investigation? Like traveling to
Traveling literally all over the
the
place.
mayor's house?
Dude,
Yeah, the
fucking
mayor's
brother,
house.
I was stumped. I never admitted it, but fucking my brain was not clicking. Like we were after the mayor's house, I thought we had it, and then it was like, yeah, she's not here. And I was like, oh fuck.
Fuck. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I really don't know what to do from here. My brain is not clicking, but I'm not going to admit that.
Yeah.
But brother, I was on the struggle bus. I was like,
Yeah.
well, the only thing I can think back is to go. We can try to follow the scent, or we can. I don't know what to do. I don't know if we just continue searching or.
Yeah.
Ugh, I was stumped.
Well, we ended up following the scent, and following the scent led us directly into one of the worst clusterfucks of the campaign so far.
Oh, you're talking about how we almost didn't even need to make this podcast?
Yeah.
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 Honestly.
So,
yeah. That's exactly what.
I don't think I told you this, Tyler, but my health, both mine and Sarkesh's health, my health was at 3, and Sarkesh's health was at 4.
Yeah.
Did I even get hit? I don't think I did.
No, you were frightened and you ran away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then I, like, dude, literally, after you did,
Dude, he had a
all the
domain
skeletons
expansion.
turned around and shot me. Well, yeah, man, there's fucking bullshit.
He said fucking infinite void, and that's...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm finna pull up on
We
you.
had a good old malevolent shrine up in here.
Jesus.
No shit, dude. Like, I'm finna pull up on him with the limitless bands. You know, if y'all know what the limitless bands are, y'all know that he ain't gonna have no chance next time.
I'm gonna pull up with that Toy Story domain.
Toy Story domain.
Snake in my boot.
I'm gonna show up with that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Actually, nah. I gotta pull a page straight out of Pure O Juice's book. I'm gonna pull up with the Dior domain, the straight Toji demon style shit.
Data reshaper.
Hey, you see my son? You see my son? I need some rent money, man. I just lost on parlay. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the fight with death ended with William and Sarkesha very badly wounded, and John really pissed off at them.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, you were mad I got us in that fight.
Yeah.
Well, no fucking shit, because we literally almost died.
Yeah.
We were probably a round of combat from.
So literally what happened was, John's attacks pretty much barely did any damage to death during that fight.
Yeah.
So once you got frightened and you're like, nah, I'm out of here, I fully accepted that. I was like, yep, get out while you can.
Man, I was literally hitting him with every major thing I had, and we still only chipped away through half of his health, which was crazy.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the death fight, we ended up going back to heading back towards the city, and we stopped at the gate to talk to one of the guards who ended up. We later found out that she was afflicted by some type of moonlight curse or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm gonna be honest, I'm still not 100% sure that this bitch ain't gonna turn into like a shadow stalker. You know, like this is how the shadow stalker werewolfism starts.
Hey, you never
We'll just
know.
wait for the moon.
You never know.
All right,
Oh
Harry
yeah.
Potter.
But but no, that's I
So
am loving. Okay, I will say that. That's the other little tidbit is you guys are slowly like characters that you have interacted with before or are interacting for the first time. You are slowly seeing that something has afflicted them in their past in this town. And I know that I've said multiple times that, like, oh yeah, it's weird. They're in the middle of a forest, a dangerous forest, and they're all chipper and happy. But
Yeah.
you don't exactly know why. And then with the ones that you do end up talking to and do find out, oh, there's a curse been you know, upon them, or now recently a shadow being taken from somebody. Like
yeah,
so you're interacting with characters that, you know, have been in this town for years, probably since birth, and you're learning some of the history that has taken place. So I'm loving the fact that you guys are slowly learning more about Black Hollows and seeing that this is a more developed village. It's not a town, it's a village. I need to stop saying that. It's a village. It's a village. It has a small population. And there's, you know, all the characters that you have met are the pretty much the only like named characters. Everybody else is just in the background just for, you know, extra beings. But all the main characters that you've been introduced to that have a name, something's gone on, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there is the whole stuff with the mayor as well, which honestly, I loved that part, even though that was completely just thrown together. Whenever.
Oh, which part? The part where I almost burned down his house?
Well, no, before when John talked to him for the first time.
Yeah.
That I had barely anything for. I barely had anything for him, even though I knew a decent amount of what I was going to say for him. But there was a lot of stuff that I had to come up with because there was like I didn't go too in depth on him, even though I should have. But I think with what I gave you was enough information to like really show you that this dude cares for everybody. He is responsible for whatever takes place, no matter what. He takes the blame for it if he has to, but for the most part, he's a nice, kind dude. So,
Damn. Okay.
so yeah, it's just
That's cool. We get some more insight on the mayor.
Yeah, I mean he's like even like even in the episode when John was doing an insight check on him, and like sure like that whole like sigh of relief thing, you know, that's a normal thing that anybody would do just because you were pretty much being interrogated. But at the same time, it was one of those things where like, you know, even though it did seem like there was some weight that was somewhat lifted from him like revealing this stuff to a complete stranger, it you could definitely tell, like at least John could tell for sure that Grancent Blackwood is a honorable and respectful dude. So like yeah, like that it's crazy to think. But
yeah, so my only question is how do you get mixed up with this chick, man? What the hell is going on?
So that is the thing that I have in the back burner. There is going to be a plot twist, like always. But there is a major plot twist. I'm hoping you guys will start to pick up on it whenever we get to the final boss fight. Because that's when stuff's gonna go down. That's where a lot of stuff will get revealed. That's also where a lot of characters that you've been introduced to will show up, possibly. And yeah, it'll be fun. It should be easy because of how many characters are going to be there. Um,
I don't
possibly
like your confidence.
because yeah, no, like you'll have you guys, the Crimson Hand, possibly a new cleric person that just got introduced as well.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Maybe the kid.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know about that, but
I
maybe.
don't even. Yeah, I don't even know about that one. I was gonna say, I'm the one who told her to stay the fuck put.
Yeah. Um. So who knows? But you guys do have a decent amount of allies right now for the fight. So I think it'll be easy on your side, but you know, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it's okay. That's
I
okay.
mean, like it is what it is. Like obviously.
So
So
I
another thing
let's
too,
see.
I will also say this for everybody and stuff. How I am handling boss fights and just boss type characters is obviously I'm bumping up their health, but that is also because there are going to be some monologues that are going to be said. There are going to be some parts of the fight that are going to be interrupted. So there is some things that need to be happening to where, you know, the fights last longer for a reason, but then at the same time you are still rewarded with, you know, the full story being fleshed out a little bit or not, depending on how quickly some of the combat goes on some terms, because sometimes that just happens. So
Yeah,
but that's why I try to bump up the health for characters, just so that way it's like the fight lasts for a while but for a reason, so that way it's more meaningful and also the story gets to be played out and whatnot. So you know, fair warning for everybody, but also you guys should already know that by now because I did do that
yeah.
for the prologue. I did do that for the Sparkrender fight with the dragon. I did bump up his health just a little bit. Um, and
It didn't matter
yeah,
too much though, because he was getting thrown
yeah,
around like a rag doll.
it literally did not matter. So the fact that see, and that's what I'm talking about. Even if I do bump up their health, sometimes it doesn't even matter. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So now it's time to play a little bit of catch up for John. So after, getting back to the town, William and John rested, and then they followed the tracks again. Following the tracks led them to an ancient temple where William used some more of his arcane abilities to basically have like radar vision through the temple and stuff like that. To where he
Essentially,
saw a yeah, so we saw a couple things go on to where him and John and Sarkesha, who was acting really weird the entire time after the death fight, rushed
mm-hmm.
down to the temple. But as they were rushing down to the temple, the other team was rushing out of the temple because the temple was collapsing. And so there was two treant guardians. Both of those got dispatched and dealt with. And then they both teams met up outside where John and William's team, which was just John and William, and they had picked up Fuller at that point in the bar.
Yeah, he was there as well, just in the back.
Yeah. So they came and they met up, and as they're meeting up, walking back to the town, they got to exchange a couple of stories about what this temple was, what happened there, what was stolen, um, and the fact that death was mentioned really triggered responses from a bunch of the archaeologists
Mm-hmm.
that
That were
was
with the other
traveling with
team.
this group. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that came, there everyone found out that there are three more of these horsemen, including death. Um, for some people, it was their first time hearing the story. For others, it was yet another recount of a story they've heard many a times. Um, from there, they continued on back back to the town. And whenever they got back to the town, they split ways with the archaeologist group, letting them rest for a bit. And John said adios, went somewhere. And that's when William, Zarlius, and Arden went to the Void, went to Nox to go and find Sarkesha.
I love this episode so much. Episode 10.
Which one?
Not encroaching. Veiled knowledge.
Veiled knowledge. Okay.
It's what you're talking about.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's what you're
over.
talking about. I love this episode just for the roleplay alone. The roleplay between Arden, William, and Zarlius is great. It's like they had so many like questions for things. They also were investigating ancient libraries and just structures, and it was just really good. And then I love that the fact I'll mention to this to you, Nate or William, that you mentioned that you couldn't tell if anything was scripted or just role played.
Yeah.
And I love that because some of it was.
Yeah.
Some of it
Which, I mean,
was,
like, there's
but you definitely could not tell what was what, which was good. So
yeah,
the flow. So my flow throughout the episode was definitely really good. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what really made all of us like the episode a lot.
Bro was spitting bars.
I was.
Well, that's what I'll say about like your DM style is like just watching you start like from the starting point to where you are now. Like
yeah.
I'm able to like pick up on a lot of certain things where it's like I can tell, okay, he has this planned out. And then there's other times where I'll say something and then whenever it takes you a second or two to respond, that's how I know I'm like, I got his ass. I got his ass. He's thinking now.
Yeah, sometimes you do that, and then there are times where it does take me a second to like. So with how I'm trying to, like, if there's times where I'm straight up just improving role playing right after what you guys have said, yes, there is a small pause, but that is also because like I'm replaying the scene out in character in my head. So I'm trying to play the scene out in my head for a few seconds before I actually start saying it. So there are times where you do get me and I have to think about it, but really it's just because I'm processing continuing the conversation, and then it takes me a bit to actually just say it. Just because I want to see if it does fall in the way that I want it to. Which is why some of the interactions, especially like with the mayor of the town and with the shopkeepers and stuff like that, there are times where like you guys are asking for like certain items and I'm like, give me a second. So that's normally when I have them like, they disappear back into the back room and try to find the stuff, to where that way I'm just like, I am stalling a little bit, but then it's also for me to say like, they do eventually find it. It just takes a while. For you to get the stuff that you want and stuff like that. So like there are times like even with the other group, which hopefully we'll get to have one or both of them on at some point to talk about their experience on their side of things. It definitely shows in their episodes as well of them actually role playing it out a little bit and actually like doing more stuff that, they haven't really done too much when all of us are together. So I am like hoping that they can do that, and that's why especially with Veiled Knowledge episode 10 of the main campaign, we have seen that development a little bit with Arden, at least, to see that Arden is more interactive than he has been. And Zarlius is still trying to figure out what they're doing in this world. So that's completely understandable for how, Zarlius is being played out. there are some big things planned for Zarlius in the future, so I'm hoping that that will be revealed at some point. But um, yeah, no, like back to just veiled knowledge and everything like that. That episode was really good. You guys got to venture through Nox, got to venture
Mm-hmm.
through a city called Umberfall. That was a very um, technological slash very advanced city for the time before it got destroyed.
Yeah.
Um,
So like the way I think about it is like it's the Athens of Nox.
yeah, and to also like kind of compare it to Critical Role, like we have been a little bit already, is one is the Calamity, and also the city of Aor, which is a very automaton based city and very high technology uh, mechanisms and stuff. So even in Critical Role, they have major like built up cities that are too technologically advanced for the time period. But that's essentially what I was going for with Umberfall as well, just because it had different libraries for each different thing of, astronomy and weapons and ancient history and just a bunch of weird things that were going on as well. So with you guys
Mm-hmm.
venturing through Umberfall, and that was really, really hard to figure out and place certain things. And I think that it went really well with that,
Yeah.
especially with adding in the residents.
Yeah.
the
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 ghost
the
that was pretty
spectral
cool.
scholars. Those residents are yeah, that's it's such a good episode. It's such a good episode.
Yeah, that was the ghosts were really cool for me to see. I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that added like um even more of an emotional impact on Will, right?
Yeah.
So for some of the people that don't know, Will has been through the fucking ringer like everyone else has. Um
Yeah, but I think a little bit more. I
well
think Will's been through a
I
lot.
think I think like at this point right now, he doesn't understand what he's been through. He just knows that something has happened.
Yeah.
Right. So like with everything that was revealed in what was it? The Memories of the Past episode?
So that was episode 4, Tragedy of the Past.
Tragedies of the Past. Okay, so with the
Yes.
stuff revealed in episode 4, about the massacre and the fact that he was physically present there.
Mm-hmm.
So like at the time we didn't know if that was just a flashback, like he was actually like a memory stance. Nobody else could see him. He wasn't actually there, but he saw himself there, you know? But then like later on and now with the end of this coming episode, there
Well,
was flashbacks and memories of him actually being in the town. Not
mm-hmm.
of the massacre, just of the town.
Yeah.
So that to me that leads me to conclude that he was personally there that day that everything happened.
Yeah. And especially with what happened as a reveal of episode 1 of the actual main campaign. Where you guys were locked up for 6 months. And
Oh yes, that was like
tragedy of the past, episode 4, was William revealing to Arden
yeah,
what happened during those 6 months, which was
yeah,
constantly reliving the past that he didn't quite yet know until finally we get to episode 10 of the main campaign. Um so not
yeah,
even like, you know, 9 or so episodes later, you
no,
learned that it was the past That it really was real, and it was the past.
And I think like that's another reason why like at the end of episode 10, there was a new character introduced. Along with Nocturne, who was the main quote unquote boss of that episode.
Yeah.
Flash Williams' new mentor type dude.
So he's something. He is an elemental guardian, which that will get explained later. I think we'll just have a sole episode talking about the elemental guardians, but I think that
I'm cool with that.
I think that would be after we have already met them all, just so that way you guys would have seen them all and know them. Because then if we just talk about them, you guys don't even know them yet. So I think it would be really good to talk about them. So, yeah, after you've met every single one of them. So there are five. So there are five more.
Yeah, for everyone, let's see.
There's 6.
Yeah, there's 6 of them. You met one. There's 5 more. We're on our way to meet another one. Okay, so y'all keep track. And this is what I want y'all to do. If y'all are watching this first episode of the podcast, every time we meet an elemental guardian, I want you to put their number in the order we met them. All right. So Nocturne's going to be number 1. So whenever you watch this, and then eventually you're going
to. Yeah. When we're at episode, like, I don't know, 50.
50. Yeah. It'll be 2.
Maybe. Might be before that,
So
though. So maybe
that's
30.
What I want everyone.
Maybe 30.
Whenever y'all go and y'all watch episode 10, I want y'all to put the number 1 under it, and we'll know that y'all watched one of the podcasts, and then y'all definitely went over and watched the video too. But with so with William and the fact that he actually found out it was real, like he was there. With the other character that was introduced at the end of episode 10,
that is a
teaser. I think that's the reason. Yeah, I think that's the reason why he actually started crying, is because that he pieced it together. He's like, "Fuck." Okay. What was it, Tyler?
What? Nothing.
So
nothing at all. Nothing at all.
So yeah, at the
you
end,
talking shit. Shit, old man.
Yeah. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
At the end of episode 10, not only did William get to see the past of Umberfall, like the height of its existence and everything, but so did Arden and Zarlius, because they were standing right next to him. And it was kind of more of just like a vision of the past and what it was, how much it prospered, and how much fun the residents, so the spectral scholars that are there now currently, used to, be living beings. They were of many different races that lived there. And that was another thing that we also found out too, that you guys found out that there are different types of certain races that live in Nox as well. And those are pretty much the residents and whatnot. But the final conclusion of that was how you guys saw the vision of that. And it was from a celestial encounter. That was probably one of the best parts of the episode.
Yeah.
And it's right at the end. So
yeah. That's for me, she is that was honestly like, because I'm not gonna name drop or nothing just yet.
Yeah, but because name was not revealed. Nothing was really revealed. Except for like towards the end, but you guys were not present. So
Yep.
So there,
which we'll talk about that here in a second.
Yeah. That was the best part.
But so like first I want to talk about like creating her. She was honestly the toughest one to create.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know how to still balance her on both sides, but have have her lean more towards one side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the whole way these things work, right, is through duality,
Yeah.
right?
No, I'm loving that you're trying not to spoil anything because nothing has been mentioned yet.
And you know how hard it is for me not to do this shit.
Yes.
Because I will accidentally say something. I'll be, fuck,
Yeah.
God damn it,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
So, like, it's duality, the way these things work, right? Yin and yang, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it works. But
It's
there
also
are
essentially
certain...
how Lux and Nox work in the void. It's the same thing.
But there are certain ones that, like, it's just like any kid, right? Based on your environment is based on how you're inevitably going to be growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, like in her case, she obviously was brought her up in the lighter side. But in others, definitely flipped. 110% flipped. And I think with the reveal, with what she said at the end there, we can definitely see how, because Will is definitely that flip side.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Tyler over here sitting the whole time, he's like, what the fuck did she say?
Yeah. It's like, what happened? It's like, that's why you watch the episodes, my guy. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how it played out because I was still like thinking about everything else in my head. So do you want to take over this part?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it ended without like trying to like play the audio again and everything like that. I'm pretty sure it ended with her saying William, huh? As like acknowledging that that is the name you are going by and everything like that. And then at the very end, she says, "Until we meet again, my son."
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last line of the episode. So, yes, we got the reveal of William's biological mother, except name and everything was not revealed. It was just a celestial encounter, mostly obscured by energy and whatnot.
Y'all know how angels are. They all obscure and shit.
Yeah. And once William, Zarlius, Arden, and Sarkesha left, obviously it dropped, and we get the reveal of her revealing that William is her son. And it was a great moment. I was trying to reword some of the things to where that way it would make sense and to where that final bit would hit as it did. And from what you have told me, that even your sister has cried at that moment.
Yeah.
So,
my sister even watched that and was like, oh, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Me.
so
meant to be there.
So I'm just glad that hearing that somebody who has seen it for the first time, that wasn't a part of it, but seeing the impact that it had and seeing the emotion behind it, that was what I was going for, which is why I had a horrible time trying to rewrite everything for that to work. And it was also the part where I was like, are you guys going to leave? Like, are you guys, like, I was literally trying to get you guys out of here so I could say it.
Yeah, we were just standing there fucking around.
Yeah, you guys were just standing around, like, trying to figure out what's going on for a second. I was like, are you guys going home? Are you leaving? Are you going back to the tavern? Like, leave.
And eventually I was like, yeah, fuck, I guess we'll go.
Yeah. Yeah, it got to the point where I was trying to rush you guys out just so I could finally get that line out. But then it was also so we could end the episode because it was really late by the time we did that. So
Yeah,
so I was
it
glad
was like
that
almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and
yeah.
that's one of the rare times that we actually do that.
Yeah. So that was one of the times where like we had it go for that long, but then also the fact that, everybody has, you know, daily jobs to get to. Yeah,
Yeah,
timing is sucky. Um
yeah,
and schedules and everything. But I mean, overall, I've been loving this campaign so far, and each passing episode that we do, new characters get introduced. Um you guys like them, you guys hate them, it's totally fine. That's what they're there. That's what they're there to do. Um, so I'm hyped for you guys to meet some more NPCs as we go along the way in the story. I'm hyped for you guys to get introduced to the rest of the Elemental Guardians. Because there are a few in particular that, oh god, you guys are not ready for. I already have an idea of how their personalities are, so it's going to be fun. It'll be interesting when you guys first get introduced to them.
hmm
But I definitely
And the
think
next one we're going to is Earth, correct?
yes, it is the Earth
Okay.
Elemental Guardian. That is currently, which you guys do know this because you talked to Nocturne about it.
Yeah.
He is on the other continent, pretty much either on the opposite side of the world or close to it.
Mm.
But not only that, so is the air. The air one is nearby as well. On that continent. The fire one is located a little bit further, um, away from everything a little bit. And you also heard that the water one was obviously underwater in one of the water nations.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought? But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's water nations. What the fuck?
yeah, that was also revealed. That was another big reveal as well. There are some water nations and domains, so that's cool. Um, so yeah, we'll have some fun searching those areas at some point. But you guys have a lead. You guys have a direction. Just got to go on the course. But first,
Yep.
but first,
Ah.
you have two obstacles.
So with and let me see. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to get my train of thought. Yeah, okay. So some of them obstacles are both of the obstacles are both fights. And
Yeah.
I honestly think that one of them is going to be I honestly think both of them are going to be fairly tough, which is why in the most recent episode actually let's talk about the most recent episode first.
Oh, the
So
one that
in the most
hasn't
recent
aired
episode,
yet?
yes,
Episode 11? Yeah, because it's not out yet.
yeah,
um,
never mind.
yeah.
So
Technically we could. Because I would
yeah,
probably
the people
upload
watching
this
mine will have
after.
no idea.
Yeah, I would say mine would be uploaded after, after it already goes out.
Folks watching mine, you get a
So
fucking free preview.
yeah, a little free preview.
Um,
Give me a
well,
second.
mine's live stream.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, I don't have a name for the episode yet.
That's okay. That's okay. Oh, I got one. What about proper burials?
Yeah, that could work because that is exactly what happened. So that actually took the most amount of time in the episode. So so yeah, that would work. That would work. Proper burial.
So John, while you're off probably sleeping drunk in some alley, the rest of us are working, and we went back.
Working, huh? Is that what you call it?
we went back to the Crimson Hand, and whenever we got in there were still bodies everywhere. And I was like, hey, what the hell is going on? It's been like 2-3 days. These bodies are starting to rot.
Yeah, it had been probably like 3 days at that point.
My fucking dick, they hit me.
Heard.
So with that going on, I gave them a choice. I said you could either burn them or bury them. And that was it, because these bodies are getting disgusting. We need to get them out of here before people get sick. So most of them we burned, a couple of them we buried, and through that, at the memorial, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
We met Derek's brother.
Yep.
And we buried his sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the first time you ever heard that he had a sister.
And then we met this little girl named Avery. No.
Nope.
Avery?
Nope.
Every.
Nope. Nevry.
I forgot. Nevry. I started with an N. Fuck.
Nevry Mirthkeep.
Should never remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never remembered.
So we met this little
You
kid.
fucking bitch! What are you doing? Sorry.
You're good. So, we met this garbage disposal, really, and
I think
dude,
you
the
have.
kid put down everything.
I think you have an idea why. Just think about it. Think about what she is now. Warlock.
She a zombie?
No.
Wait, I missed that. He just said warlock.
Yeah, I did. That's a teaser.
No, I know. I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to think now. I'm like, well, the only one that to me would make sense is the Undying. Isn't there one called the Fathomless? But what the fuck is that?
There is, but then there is also one called Soul Eater, but she is not that.
That'd be dope. I think that was actually the conversation we had.
We
was her
did.
being a soul eater.
Yes,
Yeah.
but no, she is of the ancestral beast fox.
Okay, I remember. Yeah,
yes, the ancient beast fox.
Yeah.
Which can be
That's gonna be fucking
which
sick.
can be garbage disposals at times. Foxes are crazy.
So we met them. We ended up having a dinner with them to
as well as the Crimson Hand.
Yeah, to feast for the fallen and all that good stuff. William read some Dead Rights. Arden read some as well. And then during that, Will and Zardius kind of had like an ESP moment together, where they was like, "Bobby, why you ain't got no shadow, Bobby? What the hell going on, Bobby?
Can I get healed?
No."
Oh my god.
So, meeting Bobby, I still don't think that's his name, but that's what I'm calling him.
It is. It's Barry.
Yeah,
not Barry. Buried his dick in your sorry.
Okay,
bro.
And it's not even spelled. It's spelled completely different than you would think.
Oh God, like B-A-R-R-I.
No, B-A-R-I. B-A-R-I.
Oh. So we met him, and while we were burying the folks, we found out that he didn't have a shadow. So William and Zardius did what they do best, and they went searching for shit from the comforts of their ass.
And the hideout, yep.
Yeah, in the hideout.
In the Crimson Hand hideout, yep.
And they ended up finding 2 separate signatures. One of that being an undead, either a Dhampir or a vampire, both of which are very nasty. And the second one being a hag. Now only one of those William has experience fighting, and that's just a regular vampire. That's it. That's all he has experience fighting. Other than that, nothing. His targets are mainly humanoid sentient, not monster. The monster side of things will definitely be where John. I'm gonna be throwing John in that fucking circle, like kicking him in the back.
You ain't gonna fucking be throwing shit, son.
I don't know his shit about hags.
You just gotta know when John talks, he sounds like Ford.
Sounds like Ford.
Okay.
That's fair. You got the deep, low country draw.
I probably could do it, but
You probably could.
Every Texan can. You just make your voice a little bit deep, and then you have that.
Problem is, I don't know. Right, I don't know. Like, you have to say the certain words with it. It's not.
Well, like
it's not regular English. It's Texan. It's not regular English.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not
when you're speaking that, you can't say regular words because it doesn't.
That's fair. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like before.
If you talk in a voice like this, it sounds a little weird to speak regular English. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Texan.
Pretty close.
It's Texan.
It doesn't. It feels weird saying regular words because they feel like liberal words. Make me very, very right-sided when I'm in that voice.
Oh, God.
See, we got these damn people running around here. That just reminds me of the do you know what it's like to drive a Ford? Well, have you ever kissed your sister and then fucked your dad in the ass? That's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150. Shit, dude, I could do that voice amazing in the morning. My voice is so low in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I could give Corpse a run for his money. Got that rasp and everything.
Yeah. You know, I've had that a couple times too.
No, my voice is already low. Like, if I have to put like effort in to keep it like to this pitch,
Yeah.
like if I fully relax, it goes in just to that chill. I'll just sit here like this, but then like nobody can hear it, and they're like, "What? What'd you say?"
Yeah.
And then so I have to like pick it up a couple octaves, but it just sits kind of in that low range.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on my John Deere voice. Hold on.
John Deere voice for John.
Got to get that tractor voice.
Good old John.
Probably got to like not lay down while I'm doing it because I'm full prone currently.
Full prone.
Feet up in the air. You know, head resting on my hands. That wiggling my feet. You know.
Yeah.
No. Oh, let me put my sunglasses on. That's it. Where's my flannel? Let me get my flannel too.
Oh God.
We gotta get into character. We're gonna get sunglasses in the dark, flannel and underwear. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna be like the reverse sexy version of a woman.
Oh God.
No, that's when I think of John, I think of Ford's voice. Or that meme also.
Yeah.
No. Going back to kind of how the rules of like how I like it's on the side of it's in between Trevor and the rules one, but instead of the rule book, it's real life. Right? Except we're all athletes is the difference.
Yeah.
We're not fucking, the average person, you're full-on athletes. So you can do the things that people can't. It's the whole reason why you're fucking killing things that they can't. It's like solo leveling.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with 4 people instead of 1. Literally.
Yep.
And those people know what they're doing, not unlike Jinhu.
Yeah.
Or is it Jinwoo? What's his name?
It's Jinu. The W is
Is it
silent.
Jinu?
Yeah. The W is silent.
I don't know. I don't listen to the name. He's too busy screaming and causing his voice blood.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's too busy causing blood to come out of his vocal cords.
Jesus.
Listen right here, partner. This ain't gonna be this. You ain't gonna run this story. This story's gonna run you. So how about you get your sniffer going? That's what I would say to William.
But you get your sniffer going.
Boy, are you talking to my drug sniffing dog? What the hell?
Yeah. Yep. Go on, Ruckus. That's what I'm gonna call him now. Not Sharkesha. It's gonna be Ruckus.
Oh God.
That's my uncle, not my dog.
I don't have very fond memories of my uncle. Where's the conversation going?
Yeah.
Uh, so basically, with my new job, with my 12-hour shifts, it's a boring as fuck job,
Mm-hmm.
but also the easiest job in the world I've ever done. But it's just boring.
Sorry,
Especially
stopped
when,
at
Yeah.
especially when it's like really slow. It's just like it's worse than being in the kitchen at where we were.
Yeah.
Like between 3 and 5, it's
Mhm.
worse than that.
Yeah.
But it's like for 12 hours instead of 4 or 6.
Ugh. Could not be me.
But basically, my mind just runs on like stuff I can do, and so I was basically just thinking about how like realistic things, because in the book they don't really have rules for some things, right?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about gases, right? Like fogs, clouds, any type of like tear gas or sleep smoke or that stuff. There really isn't rules for it,
Yeah.
right? So I just took what I know in real life. So if somebody were to throw a canister of tear gas, no save you can do can stop you from reacting to that tear gas. It's the same as no save can protect you from the rain outside. It's still going to hit you.
Yeah.
It's just like if tear gas is in front of you, it's like trying not to cry. Go take a tear gas
like
outside
how
and throw it next
badly
to
it
your feet.
affects
Yeah,
me.
but it's more or less it's gonna affect you regardless. There's nothing you can do about
Yeah.
it. You can leave the area and it'll subside, but then
Staying in the
there'd be
area,
like
you'll
some
get
people
screwed.
like, well, if I make my save, I was like, there is no save.
Yeah.
You can.
So would that
I'll probably do this. I'll probably go. You can make a save to depend on your reaction. Or let's say
would
there's
that
there's
be
gas that makes you like fall asleep. There'd be like you can make a save to see if you stay awake a little bit longer. But
well? I mean,
ultimately, you're
would
going
that
to
be the same thing as the Molotov? Like if you throw a Molotov in the area effect of the Molotov, or would that be two separate things? Because the gas
absolutely
is
because
filling you up
it's
more.
well. So with a Molotov, it's a little different. It would be like you'd be dodging, like jumping out of the way,
So it'd be
right?
like a spell AoE instead of like having to worry about the whole
Yeah.
room type of thing. Okay,
But
I got you.
with a gas, it's a huge radius, like 30 feet, usually minimum. Especially with tear gas, and we're not going to get into the specifics of wind and whatever. Oh, you know what? We'll just do this because I was talking to Skulls about this.
Mm-hmm.
What does the grapple effect mean to you as a DM? Without looking at your rulebook right now,
Ooh.
what are the rules for a grapple? So if a player were to grapple somebody, what is the rules for that?
Strength contest.
Okay, and then what happens if, say, the player wins?
Then they're grappled for a round, and they'll have to try to escape.
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, put a little bit of water on top. Sorry, I'm teaching my brother how to reheat tortillas.
Well, it's grapple or it's a strength contest, and then after that, the next round they can try to escape. But it would still be a strength contest regardless.
I think a good way to look at that, or look how you would do it, like in the moment, is go back to episode 5. You know, go back to whenever John was getting choked out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a pretty obvious example.
Yeah, that's yeah.
If
anybody wants tips or not, check out episode 5.
So I think like what the fuck even brought up the grapple question, John or Tyler?
It was just he was talking about it with one of his friends.
Oh okay. Shit! I was muted? Okay.
You were muted the entire time.
You're good, brother.
So okay, sorry. I was asking Trevor what happens to that creature.
Oh, hold on, you got out again. What was it?
What happens to that creature when it gets grappled?
When it gets grappled, it's grappled for the round, and then.
Like, does it not move? Is it restrained?
Yeah,
what?
It's restrained. Yes.
Okay.
And then.
So
and then
the D&D rules, you grab a person with one hand, you bring their movement to 0, and you can both still make attacks against whoever is within 5 feet. That is the rule.
Okay.
And that makes zero.
Well, it kind of makes sense to where you can still attack, but you're so realistically, it's beneficial for a monk to do it.
Yeah.
Because they can grab with one hand and then punch with the other one. Like that's it's mostly effective with a monk doing it, and possibly a barbarian. But then again, that's it.
How strong do you have to be to restrain somebody with one hand? And basically, they're not allowed to move.
Yeah. So,
which, in my opinion, it's the dumbest rule I've ever heard. Like when I think of a grapple, I think you're grabbing somebody.
Yeah, you're bear hugging them.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
You are pretty much bear hugging and pinning them to the ground.
Exactly. That is exactly what I thought it was.
That is a grapple.
But then I was watching Critical Role, and it was just like it brings their movement to 0, and they can now hit you since you grabbed them. And I'm like, what? No, that's not. I've never played it like that. What?
I mean, technically, yeah.
But then it is, and I'm like,
yeah.
So how does that benefit anybody?
Well, that brings me to the question: if you specify you're grappling near the arms, will that cancel out the attack? Like stop them from being able to attack if you're holding around the arms.
This is the part 2 of this.
What?
Oh God.
Me and Skulls were like, well, it could be a multitude. Like with just that simple grapple, right? There are so many variables for that. Do you grab them on their right or left arm? Do you grab their leg? Do you bring them prone? Are they against a wall? Or it's when you grab them, do they not have actions, or do they have advantage now that they're grappled, or do they have disadvantage because they're trying not to hit you? There is it is the simplest, most complicated thing in almost entire D&D, in my personal opinion.
Well,
next to like action surge.
So yeah, but realistically, I would think they would technically have advantage on you because you are close to them. If they tried to attack anybody else, it would be disadvantage. But then they could still try to get out of whatever grapple they have.
You could also say, well, why do they have advantage? It would be technically disadvantage because I have their arm and I'm pulling it.
Yeah.
They try to swing at me and I move it. So now it's disadvantage.
So yeah, it would be you would, since you're I would say because of how it is, realistically, thinking this on a realistic standpoint, if you have somebody, like it says in the rules, by one arm grappling somebody, if you are grabbing somebody by one arm, they still have the other free arm. They would have advantage. Exactly. They would have advantage on hitting you with that other arm. But if they're trying to shake it off,
have advantage. I would say they can still hit you, because it would be like saying, because technically you're lessened, being that you have one hand, so
Well,
it'd still be a regular attack.
It would still be a regular attack, and then if they wanted to try to hit you with the arm that is grappled, it would be disadvantage.
Yeah, which is. I think it's just it's a thing that they didn't think about.
Here's what I think. I think we will figure it out whenever one of you guys try to do it in our campaign.
It's an example.
Yeah, I know.
And what me and Skulls
but
we're just like.
But I think
the fun thing is like that's how I actually built Fuller's character.
Yeah.
Was Fuller's character, at least his martial arts, is based off of my personal martial arts. And so, like, his striking capabilities, as John found out, is just fucking crazy. He's gonna lay hands on an old man, everything in between. Okay.
Yeah.
And then his grappling abilities, that's something we haven't seen yet. Well, yes, we have, because he choked out John. But
to the full extent.
No. Yeah, we haven't seen it like to the full extent. Like with the stuff you're talking about, like I really think that whenever Fuller's player starts to understand some more of those things, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, for me, I've always thought, because I didn't remember seeing that part in Critical Role, I've always thought it's a full-on grapple.
Yeah.
So
always.
that's what I always think grappling is it's a full-on grapple. You are trying to pin them. You're trying to pin them in their spot, or just try to hold them in that area. That's it. So
Trevor, why does this level 12 have 212 hit points?
What are you talking about?
The campaign. Why does this old, dusty, crusty grandma, she's level 12, have 212 hit points?
Oh, are you talking about the grandma from the prologue?
Good lord.
There's a reason for that.
Passive perception of 27.
Yeah.
Lord.
Nate, you're muted, by the way.
Cringe.
She a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that bitch a dragon.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah. She's a chromatic dragon.
Look at Ethereal's character. That's Fuller, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Look at that grapple thing real quick.
Okay.
I can't look at it on my phone.
Yeah.
So Fuller has a couple. He has Swimming Swallow. He has Jellyfish Clutch. And then Guillotine. Guillotine's the one you're talking about, John.
Yeah, so what does Guillotine say?
Hold on.
Which we really didn't do it right, because not only would you have been knocked out, but you would have been taking a fuck ton more damage too, because I'm pretty sure it deals damage every turn.
Yeah, so...
But if it says you have to make a grapple attack, then he does that just by grabbing one arm.
So, the Guillotine is, as an action, you can spend 1 key point, 2 at 11th level, and 3 at 17th level, and attempt to grapple an enemy using their neck as a lever.
Yeah, it specifies.
Yeah, if your grapple succeeds, then you restrain the creature and deal 1d8, and then of course by the levels 3d8, 5d8, and 8d8 bludgeoning damage per round as you deal critical damage to their neck. Scales up as if a cantrip of 5th, 11th, or 17th level.
So damn, so it's actually a lot more because he's at 5th or 7th right now.
Yeah, because he is level 6, so he can do it at 5th level. So, but that would be... Oh, no, yeah.
I'm really thinking about it, because it's probably not going to happen where we grapple somebody, but... If it does, how the fuck do you play it? Like,
yeah,
do I make them specify what they're picking, and if they go for something that's small, is it a higher DC? How do I make that DC? Is it?
Okay, I feel like this is what I would say. So like based off of my like real life grappling experience, the wrist, your ankles, and the back of the head are the three hardest things to catch. Like the three hardest things. If you're not fast. If you're fast, they can be very, very easy just to boom, grab, just like that.
Yeah.
But whenever you have somebody's wrist, that's it. You have their fucking wrist. Until they find a way to break it, that's it. Same thing with the elbow. Like the elbow, if someone wants to like grab right here, this is what I would say is a regular grapple. If someone grabs someone else right here behind the elbow and they're just holding them right there.
Are you showing your screen? Because he's saying right here. Like,
yes, he is.
Yes,
His
yeah,
camera is
I'm
on.
on my camera.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on my
Like,
camera.
right.
Both of us have
Um,
cameras on. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on our cameras.
Oh, that's funny.
So, just a little bit up your elbow is where I would grab as like a regular grapple. Um, like that would be like for me if I was doing it, that would be your standard DC. If you're going for the wrist, it would depend on the character. If the character is like known for being fast, then it would be lower. If they're not nimble at all or they're just basic, then it'll probably be just a little bit higher because the wrists are a smaller target. And the highest DC I would put out is the legs. Not
So
like
technically, you don't need a DC. It's like it's an opposed roll, I think.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It could.
So, but
So
you
it
could also
could be
do
that.
Dex or Strength.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
that. Or what you could do is like, so I know that people don't really have like, or not everybody has like a spell save DC.
Yeah.
But the standard so far, it seems, is that it's 15. So if you wanted to, 15 would be the standard DC to try to do anything. And then if you want to specify something, it would just be either higher
No, I
or
thought
lower than
12
that.
was your standard DC. Because it's usually 10,
Well,
plus 2
Or
for
I
most.
guess it would be. Well, it'd be 12 or 13, maybe.
Yeah. I think 15's too high,
So
being that it's only a 25% chance of getting it.
yeah. So then we'll say 13 because it's odd number. But
and on top of that, grabbing somebody is a fairly easy thing to do.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah, it could be. Yeah.
That was very easy for you to do, wasn't it?
Well, it's still super situational. Also,
yeah.
not situational.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
It's either
so many
situational
variables.
or it's either
so many variables.
Yeah, there's so many variables. It's either situational
Michael John White's rules of telegraphing.
Or it can be a story moment. It just depends. Like that's really all they're used for, pretty much. But honestly, for me, I feel like a grapple would be a full-on grapple. Like,
agreed. And that's the rule is for me. It's like when you make a grapple, you're basically restraining somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in turn, you're getting rid of your turn, basically.
Yes.
To grab this person.
To hold.
And you both go to the ground, and you are now doing UFC grapple moves on each other.
Yes.
You look like a celebrity trying to go undercover.
And honestly, I'm gonna say this: that is what I should have done. from our session.
Okay, what if we do it like that, right? What if at least
for
Fuller,
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
At least for Fuller, right? Like whenever he goes off and does that shit, what if we make it like a little mini game for him?
Yeah.
He's like, I do a guillotine.
We can make a mini game out of it.
You do a front guillotine or a back guillotine? Because if it's a backwards guillotine, it would deal so much fucking more damage.
I did come up with a real complicated way to do grapple. Because when I think of grapple, it's like you're putting somebody in a chokehold on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're basically fighting for it. So you do it like death saves. And so you make 3 checks or you make checks and it goes either way. If you beat them 3 times, basically each success just puts you deeper and deeper and deeper until you're locked in and there's no escaping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, that sounds cool because
that
it's a grapple.
sounds
It's rid of your action, but also makes it fun.
yeah. Well,
It's not, you're not just sitting there like, I got him.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
Yeah, and not only that, but like it'll make the actual like bar fights or like the times that we're like, hey, John Steele, you 30 years ago you dishonored my family. We're gonna box now.
yeah,
Bet,
something
let's
like
go.
that. Yeah.
Shit like that, where it's like a one-on-one call-out type of like special fight. We can
Yeah.
have that mini game
Yeah.
instead of it just being, hey, it's your turn. I hit you. Okay, hey, it's your turn. I hit you back.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely have to come up with a small little mini game for it, just so that way it's a little more fun and interesting, and that way it doesn't last so long. Because that's the only thing that I have a gripe with D&D is combat takes forever.
Yeah.
well,
I will
hand-to-hand
say this.
combat, it should not be complicated.
It shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
It should be easy.
And for me, it was like, all right, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna punch you. I'm done.
Yeah. No, like
Unless I'm doing something a little.
So
different.
yeah. So talking about that, the Shadow Stalker fight. We'll go back to that. There were 5 of them. They were all separated to where each of you pretty much had your own opponent. But then it got to the point where there were 2 or 3 of them close by to where you had to choose an opponent to fight.
Yeah.
Which, William
and then
had
I got
one,
jumped by
and then,
one.
Yeah, William got jumped by one.
My armor got completely fucked up to the point where I had to fix my owlbear armor with some damn copper or brass. I can't remember. It's probably brass.
I think you got to replace that. You got fucked up, so John had to save you. That sentence should say.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Instead of your armor didn't get messed up, it said John Steele saved you so you could fix your armor.
No, I got jumped.
No, that's right.
To make a shot, and I got.
I'm pretty sure that's like lore at this point. It's like canon.
Oh god,
dude. Your knees just kicking in, dog. Don't worry, it'll wear off after a nap.
Yep.
Boy. Tyler, this is one thing I definitely have to say, bro. Thank you so much for being a good sport. Like, between all the, we call it high siding in my family. Between all the high siding back and forth, siding. It's where it's like, they're like exactly what William does to John, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, old man, go lay down. That type of shit. That's high siding. And thank you so much for being a good sport about it. Because I know so many people where you'll say something as a complete joke, and I'm be like, hey, bro, bet you won't say it one more time. You know what? You're right.
But I'll do that in character.
I ain't even trying to start. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I told Trevor was you were. That was basically. It was basically fucking locked up match after that. It was after that first night of us back and forth fucking old man. He's like, goddamn, I'm not an old man. I swear to God, you keep calling me that shit. Just back and forth. That I was like, okay, this dude's gonna be my fucking backbone for comedy. Between you and Arden, yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but that was the first time you guys had ever talked and interacted. So it was really fun seeing Tyler kind of come into the fold and fit.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you what, I'm flexible. I can fit where you need me to fit.
Oh, okay, buddy.
That sounded like one of them military $20 is $20 things.
Right? Anything for a Klondike bar.
That's crazy. Anything for a Klondike bar.
Yeah, no, I love that. Well, I'm also loving the whole energy that we have. Not even just in this one, but also Tyler for our game as well.
It's been in the fridge for a while.
Introducing new players to D&D, and we're supportive and helpful and helping them out because otherwise they'd hate the game. They'd have no idea what to do, and we're doing that with Ethereal. And then we're also, Tyler,
Yeah.
So that
So is
I'm just loving it. So
sorry, this is a question I had. I saw you added Skulls to the D&D server. Is he going to be joining us?
No,
oh, he's in the
to the
D&D
D&D server. No, he's in the realm,
Yeah, the game. Yeah,
Oh,
gaming realm.
my bad.
the gaming stuff. Yeah.
Because it's who I usually play games with a lot, and yeah.
No, that's corn. It's corn. Just butter up a flour tortilla and dip it in it.
Heard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Call me the tortilla. Sorry.
That's honestly, I think a tortilla, like being called a tortilla, is so much worse. Never mind. I'm not gonna say this shit on YouTube.
Sorry, it's already been
Okay.
demonetized. Hasn't
Oh
even
yeah,
Oh,
posted.
yeah.
bro.
Already
Well,
pre
I already
demonetized.
know.
well, like
I
that
already
and
know.
Good
that.
thing only 15 people are gonna watch it, and half of it's gonna be us rewatching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah, that is true. Just to see how it goes. But
Basically, that's what I told Trevor. Is like I'm recording
Whoa.
our sessions. I'm not expecting people to watch them. They are strictly for if y'all need notes, or
yeah,
more in particular, if I need notes. Because
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
be fucking damned if I'm gonna improv and take notes. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
We
You know,
know shit.
for us, I'm just recording it one for content, but then for me, it's also just in case if like you guys bring something up that happened like episodes ago, and I'm like, I don't remember
Yeah.
that at all,
Shit.
and then I'd have to go back and find it. So yeah.
Well, little backstory about when starting is so when working with Trevor, I broke him out of his shell and we started talking about D&D because he's a shy motherfucker. And then I was like, well, I've been wanting to join another game, and he was like, well, I got this other. Listen, you get me in there, I roleplay like a mother, and you can just look at the first session I was in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We were already fucking cracking jokes back and forth. I've never met this person in my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
it was
game
funny
setting.
too, because like a couple days after, I literally like pinpointed your characteristics, like fucking do, and I was like, Trevor, I've never met this guy in my life. You can confirm, right? Like,
Yeah.
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 I was like, do I have a general sense of how he is? And he's like, no, dude, you fucking hammer on the nail type shit. I was like, bet.
Yeah. It was
No,
crazy.
but it's
Like,
just like
cause like,
my improv is insane. In my opinion, like it surprises me, and it comes from my head.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And I'm like, where was this? I can't write an essay, but I can say all this shit on the fly. What's going on?
Yeah.
dude.
Honestly.
Okay, that this actually brings to the perfect point of the podcast that we haven't even talked about. How did the whole story even get started? I'll tell you how it got started for me. Okay, I was tossed hammered one night sitting on our couch because I used to live with Trevor.
Yeah.
I was either watching anime or I was playing a video game, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I need some help. I have this D&D idea. I just don't know where to go."
Well,
I was
no.
like, "All right, bet.
It was
Lay it down.
more.
Tell me what's up."
Yeah. It was more of the fact that like I've had
You
like
had the
I've
start.
had a story in mind for a while, like years back, but like I never found the right like game or like thing to do, and I suck at writing, so I'm not gonna write a book about it. So well, one, because my
Carefully
handwriting is
step on some-
terrible, but also I'm not gonna do that.
Thank God for computers.
Yes, no, this is my best friend, but no, that's why like when we were hanging out, I was just like, hey, we started a small little one shot kind of campaign thing a while ago. I have an idea for another one. And he was like, all right, shoot. And I was like, okay. It's like,
And
okay, here's what I got.
yeah, that entire night, I was just spitballing things off of him, and he's like, "Okay, I like that." I was like, "What about this? And then this, and then this."
Yeah.
Well, Trevor will
And
understand this,
never does.
but at least both of you know how already good I am at improv with my daughter scene
Yes.
coming up,
Yes.
random clapbacks.
Yes.
And then I don't know if I ever said this. You know that room with the puzzle that we did in our campaign, or my campaign,
Or yeah.
with Trevor.
Yeah.
Other than the puzzle and the stone golem, all of that was made up on the spot. I don't know if I said that. The trap floor made that up.
Yeah.
The room made that up. The book, the lore, and what it did, all made that up on the spot.
Yeah. No, you definitely said that after we were done. Yeah.
And I was like, there is no fucking way that I came up with that, and I did it so smoothly. Like I couldn't have written it better.
Yeah, no, it was wild. It was honestly wild, but I knew exactly what this room had. I immediately walking into this room, I knew. I knew something was up.
The trap was the stone golem.
Well, even if you, I know, but like even if you obviously didn't have anything planned, right?
Yeah.
Like I knew immediately something was wrong with this room.
Well, see, y'all were taking it like that, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. There's something in the room.
Yeah.
And so then I made the floor like that, and I was like, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
And then I came up with it had to be like over 100 pounds, so when you threw the ball bearings on it, it wouldn't react.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if a mouse went over it, wouldn't react.
Yeah.
That's why the snake went across it with ease. And
yep.
My goal for that room was, before I made it, was the stone golem, and little backstory on it. I have already played a group in this game before. This was a campaign that I made long time ago. It was my first ever campaign that I made. I don't know if it was my first ever D&D, but it was one I made, and I wrote a bunch of stuff for it. Like you already saw, like when I started, I was like, I got this, this, and this, but I'm gonna add on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were like, I already have all this stuff, but I'm gonna continue it. And
I was like, I'm just gonna basically restart because only one person has played in it, and they barely got. Like when I say they got to where we ended, I think. Like, and that was it. Like where we actually ended.
Oh.
Like in session 1, they ended that in session 2.
Oh.
That's where they got. Well, because they were only doing like 4 hours when we did 6.
Oh yeah.
And we're new characters and slow.
Yeah.
I say slow, but they have to think harder.
Yeah. Well, yes.
And so.
And one is a brand new person.
Yeah.
Completely.
And so in this, it was with you and Skulls.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect because I already pre-warned y'all that I was like, this is going to be real life. You are going to have to think, and you're going to have to make split decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything is a fight. Not everything is a challenge. Don't overthink, but don't underestimate. Those were what I told all of y'all, and I knew it's because the first campaign, the stone golem in the room was in there. Mm-hmm. It was a book that they wrote. It didn't respond or anything. They just basically walked in there, and they could retrieve a magical item.
Yeah.
Of my choice, and I basically picked one out of common.
Yeah, it is on.
Go ahead and say it.
And then once they got their stuff, they activated the. It's basically like taking the crystal skull off the podium, and the whole room collapses.
Yeah.
But a stone golem. Well, the group in the first one decided to try to fight the stone golem.
Yeah.
And they are level 1.
Yeah. I remember.
They are level 1.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you guys weren't gonna think about it. You guys cannot fight this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you need to leave. And so they were like, okay, I guess we'll leave. And they start running, and I cast the slow on him, and he gets over. He hits one of them, almost kills him. And they're like, and then they got mad at me. They're like, well, why did you put something in there that we can't fight? And I was like, because you're not supposed to fight it. You're supposed to recognize a giant stone golem and you're level 1. Hey, maybe shouldn't. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys almost lost to a goblin boss. If Lucy wasn't there, y'all would have been cooked. goblins who have 7 health.
Yeah,
Goblin boss has-
if I was smarter and decided to grapple, ready a grapple before he started moving, because I realized that after.
Well, I guess it would have worked.
Oh no, it would have. my
Ready action.
first strength roll was really good, so it
That
would have
still
worked.
works even if they use disengage, doesn't it?
Yeah, it still would have worked because I would have been ready.
Yeah.
I would have been ready
It's
for
action,
it.
not a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have been ready for it, but yeah, I
There you go. You
realized that
didn't-
after.
you didn't.
Yeah.
And I love when you have new players because you can tell them all you want. Hey, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Until they're like, oh, you can do whatever, but there's restrictions. And that's how when they go in there, and then they start seeing, all right, we talked to this guy. Well, I want to kill him. Okay. Go ahead. I want to stage a coup in this kingdom and take over and be the king.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. It's gonna be fun. Did you guys come up with anything for your backstories today?
Today,
Your travel stories?
not kind of, but not really, not too much.
I basically, it's for Ellison.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this session's
Yeah,
gonna get her into the
Yeah,
roleplay.
I know for sure that it is. Yeah.
My foot is cramping.
Yeah, so Nate, we're kind of teasing you and everybody else in the other campaign that we're in.
Well, the difference is I don't edit my shit. It's gonna go. The only thing I might do is put in those the little fucking timestamp things in there.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Yeah.
Little bars.
Time codes, yeah.
Whatever. That's might be the only thing I'll do.
Good
And that'll
luck.
take me-
Good luck.
Well,
Oh,
if
no,
it's
no,
too much
no,
work,
that
I ain't
fuck
gonna
that.
fucking do it.
No, like if you look at ours and you look at our in the description, it's exactly the same way. You have to do it the exact same way, otherwise it won't work.
What do you mean?
Like the time codes.
Yeah.
Like, so pull up one of my videos and look at the description. You have to start it at 00. Or you have to start it at 0.
Oh, like
Hey.
the first stamp.
Yes. And then, so yeah, like time codes, and then the first stamp, you gotta do it like that, and then whatever comes after it is the title that pops up on the screen.
Okay.
So you have to do it exactly the same way.
So intro and then temple.
Yeah, you have to start it out with intro. Yes, yeah.
That's fair. And I'm assuming it's not that
Luckily-
hard. You just go in and insert it.
Yeah, because otherwise it won't work. Because I've tried it before and it just didn't work if I did not do that.
Got it.
Luckily,
I mean,
with
if
Streamlabs,
anything,
it
I'll
posts
just go in the-
directly to YouTube.
Yeah. If anything, I could just go into the description and manually put the time codes.
Yeah.
If I'm struggling with it, it's a little bit more manual labor, but it's probably the same.
Yeah, which is why I haven't done it for our previous ones. Yeah, it's because I'm just focusing on our new ones now. Because I'm like, hey, I know how to do it now, and I'm gonna just keep going. So
No,
Yeah, do it
so
from the point forward.
yeah,
just basically think it's gonna be role play for everybody, but it's gonna be the whole reason. There's gonna be 2 reasons for stuff,
so
and one of them is gonna be for Ellison.
Yeah, Nate, we're kind of teasing you in on the other campaign that like I'm a player in for Tyler's, because we're introducing one of our mutual friends, that coworker. It's their first time being introduced and playing D&D, so
Always great to have super experience,
and it's
and
always
then
great.
one newbie.
Well, it's always great to have one newbie, 3 DMs, and a player.
Literally.
Oh
3
yeah, so
DM,
you know,
Yeah.
player.
there's never going to be any arguments ever about nothing.
No,
Actually,
and-
surprisingly not.
no, well, there hasn't been, not yet. There has not
It's
one.
probably
No,
because
no,
I'm,
no,
it's
yeah.
probably 'cause I'm so
And-
lenient.
Yeah, and also we are completely like, this is why I mentioned early on in the podcast, about us
Oh yeah, this
being really
party makes no fucking sense.
helpful and supportive between the new players. Because
By the way, and this party does not make any fucking sense.
Oh yeah, Nate.
There's
Wait
a
till we
3-foot
tell you.
mouse.
Hold on. Okay, yeah. I want to say wait till we tell you the party. So
There's a 3-foot mouse. There's a turtle wizard with a base AC of 17. And then he can go into a turtle form and make his AC a 21.
Okay.
But he's a wizard.
There's the only regular character, which is Trevor's, who's a variant human monk. And then there's a dead parent sea elf pirate.
Yes. Barbarian.
Which makes no sense for a sea elf, but
yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, a barbarian sea elf pirate. Mm-hmm. That is our new player. That is the new player.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, my very first character ever was a Calistar blood hunter. It was a Calistar blood hunter sorcerer.
Lord. It's too much for me. Mine was Grog from Critical Role.
That's fair.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was his name is Bub. Bub the Unbuilder. Bob's older brother.
Bub the
Unbuilder. I fucking love that.
Bob the Builder's older brother. And Bob is dead. He's on my hip.
Oh, God.
With the ruins, who can cast a spectral bear, which can travel through walls and kind of like Mordecai, but it doesn't stun me. I can cast him. He can't attack or do anything. He's basically a spectral scout.
Oh, yeah.
And I can just send him in any hole. It doesn't matter the size. The size doesn't conform to him. He can just go and then come back and report.
I think he's the bird. I think Rigby's the raccoon.
Yes, Mordecai.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, small
Rigby and Mordecai.
Yes, regular show, yes.
Love that show.
But
yeah,
okay,
and then
I mean, fuck.
Then we also have a goblin who's attached to me by the hip to begin with.
Yeah, in his campaign, yeah.
This is my 2.5 year one.
Yeah.
She is a goblin trash panda. So she's a goblin with the personality of a trash panda. She loves trash, and she does not bathe. She's actually hasn't bathed for so long. People who get in her vicinity have to make Constitution saving throws.
God.
Because of how bad she stinks. But we're all resistant to it because she's been with us.
Yeah,
So, my only question is, why doesn't your character take a bath if she's attached to you by the hip?
Well, I take a bath, but she sits in a barrel that I've drank out of and then hollowed out and made it livable. And so she sits on my back in a barrel and shoots darts and magic rocks. But we also stole a woman's pet and then gaslit the entire town to believe that it was ours and that she was trying to steal it. No lie. Fair. It's a raccoon, and we took it. The lady attacked Tomoko, which is her name, and then I came over there, and I'm an 8-foot, 300-pound Goliath versus a 130-pound woman. I picked her up, slammed her against the wall, and threw her into the street. And then the guards came and were like, "She's trying to take our raccoon." So they took the raccoon, they put it in the middle, and they said, "Whoever the raccoon goes to is theirs." And she casts the animal charm to make it whatever. And so basically retching the woman's raccoon from her. And then I think she got arrested too.
Bro, if I was the DM, that's the new big bad guy right there. This woman is John Wick, and she's coming after y'all for her raccoon.
It's so funny. Well, now Henry is mutated to like a were raccoon.
Oh God,
his name's Henry.
Yeah. Henry the raccoon.
The were raccoon.
He also sleeps in the barrel with Tomoko.
Okay, you're talking about a were raccoon, and you think a mushroom is.
Hey, I didn't come up to were raccoon. I just helped steal it.
I didn't come up with it. I just helped steal it.
I also befriended a king, and we do the fa la 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 from Big Hero 6. And I am the only person in the kingdom he trusts. And I've pledged my loyalty to him more than my party.
Well, okay, why did I immediately get Rising of the Shield Hero vibes? Well, what are you doing with that king, bro?
Well, at first I was going to say me and him have butt sex, but I was like, oh, I'm good.
That's what I said.
He's like, oh no.
It started off like that. I was going to be like, yeah, I got to fuck a king. That'd be great. But then I was like, nah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, some people say that was the start of Griffith's downfall, but, you know, we'll never know.
Dude, the Shield Hero was so good. It just dropped.
It was.
After he got his resolution, it's just a mid anime now.
What, have you watched the third season?
Yes, it's still just mid. It's just the other heroes are just fucking idiots, and I mean he's cool, but it's not as cool as I would want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's
as it was.
Like you get to see Naofumi grow up from like being the jackass, not necessarily jackass, but like the proper tone for the situation.
But I was like, that's what made it good. It's like everyone was treating him like shit, and he was still the good guy, but also a dick at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was fucking slay, queen. And but then he got his resolution, and he became the real nice guy. And I was like, man, this is boring. Become an asshole again.
Well, I don't know. There's some pretty gangster moments in season 3, man.
I mean, there's still good moments, but it's not as good as the beginning of
That's fair. One thing I really want to see is their fight with Vittoria.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be fucking sick. Even if it's just like a one-shot book type of thing, how the Rin story was supposed to be. But like, I don't know. I think that would be dope as hell to see.
All right, we're gonna leave. We're basically going from D&D to anime.
Yeah.
No.
Who has better fight scenes? Okay, I'm gonna list them off. So you have Black Clover, Demon Slayer, One Punch.
I never watched it.
And I think it's it. Those are the three. Or we'll say Attack on Titans. Why not?
Okay, so you're saying Black Clover, Attack on Titan, One Punch, and Demon Slayer?
Yeah. Who has the best fight scenes?
I feel like you left JJK out of there.
That's one. Get rid of Attack on Titans. JJK.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Keep forgetting about anime.
I'm gonna have to go with JJK, bro.
So
ain't nobody beating those generational ass whoopings.
No. So I'm not saying how strong they are. I'm just saying the fight scenes.
Yes. That's me too.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'll just say this because for like 99%, and yes, I mean this literally because I'm only on like episode 100, for like 99% of One Piece, fucking don't know shit.
Fair.
For Demon Slayer, I've seen maybe the Entertainment District fight and maybe Rengoku's. Not all. I didn't even
that's all you really need to see.
Yeah, that's all. You just need to see the entertainment fight, and that's
the
entertainment better than the Rengoku.
Fucking bomb! I love that shit.
For me, I'd probably say I'm gonna rank all of them because I've seen them all, so I'm gonna rank them all. I'd probably say.
And I also said One Punch, not One Piece, but
oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
but
I know
even
nothing
still,
other than the characters. So
what I would say for me, fight scene wise, I'd say JJK, then Black Clover, then Demon Slayer, and then One Punch Man.
I'll give you One Punch Man in fourth.
Yeah, because
I don't know how I feel about
some of them are good, but
I will say the intensity in One Punch is insane.
Yes, but I will also say that for Demon Slayer, technically and realistically, and told by the author, all of the flashy moves do not exist in that world. It's just for the
Fair enough.
anime. So
that makes
I would
sense.
say
Damn.
still, fight scenes alone, still cool as hell. But
Yeah.
I would say even without the flashy effects and everything, I'd still say the fight scenes are a little bit better than One Punch Man's, just a little bit. And Black Clovers are amazing. I cannot wait for the anime's
Yeah.
coming back. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Really? Finally?
Yes, 2025.
Thank God.
2025. The
Thank
anime's coming back. It's going to
God,
be
bro.
seasonal. It's going to be seasonal, meaning
It only took the movie.
no. Well, that, but also Studio
I know
Period.
they were waiting.
No. There's more backstory to this. Studio Period, who does Bleach, Naruto, and Black Clover, are now doing seasonal anime for the next part of Boruto, which is going to follow the manga, which is good. And Black Clover are going to be seasonal anime, meaning we are going to get movie quality episodes like they've done with Bleach.
Fuck yes,
So
dude.
that means
That's gonna
it's
be
going to be
awesome.
good, and it needs to be because the rest of Black Clover is amazing.
Oh,
from
fuck.
what-
I can't wait for
from-
Asta's double transformation.
Yes, from what I've read, and I cannot wait that the fact that they have said that and that's what's coming back. I am hyped. I'm ready for it. But that is why Black Clover's number 2 for me. Because again with JJK, again, I say this, I have all the books right here. However, I have not read a single bit of it. Actually, that's a lie. I've read up past of season 1. Like when I was reading it, before it became animated, I read what up to season 1 was animated too. That's as far as I've read. I have not read anything else after that, but I have watched all of it. And I've watched it all in timeline order, and it is definitely worth it.
I read up to the next arc that we're fixing to go into with the anime.
Yeah. Which I think I have also
maybe
heard that
one
it's
more
gonna
after.
be. I think I've heard that it's gonna be in 2 parts because.
Bro, hopefully they actually do it that way. That way they give like each episode its time and its space. Because, bro, some of these fucking fights that are fixing to come up,
yeah,
are mind blowing. Like everyone thought that the Sukuna and Raga fight was crazy. This stuff, like, okay, Yuta, that's all I gotta say. Is with him, bro, the ass whoopings that he's finna lay out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look, after I found out that you told me that Yuta was like, he was supposed to be the main character, not Yuji. Yuji was created after like the story got solidified or whatever the fuck. I understand, bro. I fucking understand so much. Because reading what's fixing to happen after the Shibuya incident and just them dealing with the aftermath of it, and then trying to figure out who's alive and who isn't, and then assessing injuries for certain people, trying to get Gojo free, all that shit. It's just fucking insane. And then like okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of up to date just because like I watch a manga reader, kind of like how you do your stuff, Trevor.
Yeah.
But he has his in like 5-minute captions to where he does like 2-3 books, boom, right there.
Yeah.
And the fucking bro, whoever is listening to this and they're fully caught up on the JJK manga, what the fuck was that L that just happened, bro?
Yeah.
Bro.
I was gonna say, and with that ends our manga discussion or anime and manga section.
Well, let me give my tier list real quick.
Okay.
So, One Punch Blast.
Okay.
As agreed.
Okay.
Now, I love Black Clover, but I think I'm gonna put it just because its main fights are really really good,
Yep.
but it's like little fights are kind of dragged
They do.
on.
They definitely do.
They get boring.
Yeah.
Where in Demon Slayer, I almost never get bored watching those fights.
Yeah.
Almost never. And then the quality of the fucking anime is
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah, it's because
Yeah,
they got
it's
a
a
good
good
studio.
show.
They got a good studio. That's
It's
why.
fucking insane.
Honestly,
How like
that is probably one of the reasons why Demon Slayer is doing so well is because of the anime studio.
God, I went and watched the
Mappa
movie
got
in
it,
theaters.
didn't they?
Oh,
No, it's
It wasn't Mappa?
it's Ufotable that normally does Fate.
Oh.
I went and watched fucking that movie in theaters
Yeah.
of the first episode.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
was about busted in that movie theater. So with that, I'm probably gonna put JJK second and Demon Slayer first, just cause
Okay.
like just the entertainment district alone.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was never more on my seat watching that fight.
No.
And
Yeah.
same with the Rangoon
That was
Sun.
badass.
Yeah. I'll
Same
give
with
it to
the
you.
fucking last fight, and then with the new stuff. The
Yeah.
only fight that I was like on my seat for JJK was the Mahito one. Well, like at the very end.
Which
I
one?
mean, well, it was basically that whole section where he goes out and starts fighting Itadori.
So
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mahito, Yuji, and Nobara. That part.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, when fucking Toto comes in,
Yeah.
Itadori's about to die, and you just hear. We're like, motherfucker! Oh. Like, I mean, it was still really good. Like, I wish Gojo didn't get trapped, because I want to see that motherfucker pop off some more.
Yeah.
Doing a fucking 1 second domain so he doesn't kill everybody is fucking ridiculous. So, I would say JJK has a lot of really good fights.
Yeah, it does.
Ones that don't get you bored, but I would say the quality puts it over for Demon Slayer for me. Being a person who
think-
doesn't watch manga either,
Yeah.
as a
Okay, that's
non-manga reader.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
I
those
think-
two are pushing together like real close.
Yeah, no, that's
That Mahito
honestly,
fight,
honestly, that's fair. That's fair. And no,
Oh my God.
honestly, I think I even told Nate this too. After seeing that whole fight, Mahito is one of my favorite villains
Yeah.
Oh yes,
because
I fucking hate him so much.
yeah,
Mhm.
But it's
he's so
it's
good.
he's
He's so
perfect.
good. Yeah, he's perfect.
Tyler, I wish so badly I could have met you whenever JJK came out, bro. Because I was standing there at work talking with Trevor about it, right? Because he had already watched the whole first season. I'm sitting there watching it. And I'm telling him, because I stopped off
No,
on the episode
so-
where we meet Junpei, right?
Yeah, no. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love this now.
I'm so mother.
No.
Ooh.
I love this now when I get to watch my friends watch an anime that I have seen already
Go
for the
through
first
the
time
fucking
and go
the
through the emotional
trenches.
roller coaster.
Boy, it still gets me mad, man.
Bro,
Junpei, he's my favorite
when-
character of JJK,
That is
right?
why I put Black Clover 3 is because there's not a lot of emotional roller coasters.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
There
Yeah.
is, but
no.
it's not like JJK or
and,
Demon Slayer.
And see, that's
Yeah, no, and JJK,
no.
you have to go see a therapist after watching that shit.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But no, I will say for
God.
Black. That's the thing for Black Clover. It was just cut too short. If they didn't stop the
Yeah.
anime, you would have seen the massive plot twist and everything else. But because
Now that last fight,
they were really
with,
they were really close to the manga at the time. Because again, I've said this. I was reading the last
reading and then watching.
the last episode that they animated. I read when it got animated. I was reading that chapter. I was
That fight
Oh.
with Yami and Asta was
and yeah,
don't
Yami,
know.
Asta, and Dante. Yeah, like that.
Hey,
just
T,
it had me glued to the
So-
screen.
what microphone you use?
It's called the Beacon. Beacon mic.
Got them A20, son.
All right, I bet.
It's pretty pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's nice though, dude.
Yeah.
Your voice is very clear coming through it,
Oh,
and you like damn near never cut out. Like
Yeah.
the peak thing
I
that
hope
happens.
not.
No, because like on the old one that you had, like
So
the first couple episodes, you would peak
Oh,
like
Mine
yeah.
every
never
once
cuts
in a
out,
while.
does it?
So for Beacon, how it's spelled
Every once in a while, Tyler.
is
I think it's only when I walk to the garage to get a drink.
yeah.
I get too far.
So with
Maybe.
how it's spelled, Nate, is
Mhm.
BEACN
Okay.
for the Beacon mic. So it's the new mic that I've had for about a year now, actually. I think.
Yeah, you've had it for a good second.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized this, but episode 4 came out a year ago. It's been the official year mark for the campaign.
Oh, wait, of the main campaign or
Prologue.
prologue.
Probably the prologue.
The prologue
Whichever one
has
I
been
Definitely not episode 4.
yeah, the prologue has definitely been a year. It is
Yeah.
Well,
You look at it
So
right now.
for
technically episode 3 of the prologue was April 6th.
yeah, it was a year.
So we're on April 22nd right now.
So what's okay? That actually brings up a good question. What are we gonna do for our year? Our year anniversary.
which the first
Yeah.
episode was March 16th. By the way, that was when we first started uploading.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
We need to do something special for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm
Okay.
I'm hoping at some point we can also try to do like themed, like holiday themed episodes as well. At some point.
Well, we need to set that shit up to where it's like it matches, and we need to
That or
create like
it could be
themes.
really like fully
Oh, like
pre-recorded too, so that way it
Yeah.
could go out.
Well, not only that, but that's gonna help us actually flesh out the festivals and holidays of Elloria.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
Because those are a
the
thing now.
way- So this is actually something I wanted to talk about. We've never really, not enough of us have been in,
You've really not
had enough time.
talked about it at all.
Well, no, I'm fixing to bring it up. The whole like religion thing, right? So we know that there is a group of gods on Elloria. We know there's a group of gods of I was going to say Thetis. If anyone knows what Thetis is, emoji.
Say to this, sir.
If you've made
No.
it 2 hours into this podcast, good job.
No, yeah, that shit too. Good job. You're a G.
Hats off to you guys.
What's it called? Critical Role. Fuck.
There's Dune.
Tal'Dorei.
Tal'Dorei.
No, Tal'Dorei. Yeah. You know, so there's the
Where do you
gods.
find these fucking pictures?
There's the gods of Tal'Dorei. There's the gods of Greyhawk, right? So you have each of these different gods. But
Greyhawk.
one of the
elements
that we're bringing into it is Christianity.
In a way, yes.
Right? Yes, in a way. So with that, how are we going to approach that topic? Because I know there are certain like real life religions that are very, very touchy.
Yeah.
Right? Like one of them I can actually name off is Hindu. One of the Hindu things is like they don't like representations of Kali that's not, how Kali is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
I'd say because we're choosing the topic of Christianity, it's more of the fact that it is more represented mostly throughout the world, I think. Kind of. There are obviously most like Buddhism and stuff like that that are definitely out there. But yeah. I feel like, it shouldn't be too bad because it has been represented in multiple things. And honestly, I think it's fine because there is, back on the anime topic, there is an anime with Jesus and Buddha. There's an actual anime with Jesus and Buddha.
Yeah, it's called Records of Ragnarok, and it is fucking badass.
No, not that one.
I already knew that's what he was gonna say.
No, not that one. It's a slice. It's a slice of life. It's just a comedy.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that one out though.
Yeah, I literally just typed in Jesus and Buddha anime, and it's right here.
That's awesome. So one of the things that I was thinking about, like,
it's called Saint Young Men.
Saint Young Men.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's literally just a story about Jesus and Buddha.
That's honestly though, I think that's really cool because that was one of the, or that's always been something. Sorry to get into like real life stuff real quick, but like that's always been something that I've thought of is that like Jesus and Buddha are like fucking homies. No one's gonna break up that friendship, man.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that is what the anime is about. Is their friendship.
Dude.
It's just a comedy friendship. So honestly, I'm fine with it because one is technically I am Christian, but so
yeah, see, and that's another thing, like I don't want to portray someone else's god in a false way because like how I am with religion. I love everyone's religion.
Yeah,
so that's another thing.
I think again it's one of those things is we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
yeah, like
it's more of like we haven't really had a moment to bring it up, or it hasn't really been relevant right now. So
here's what I was thinking was that like just for game's sake, right? This is what I think makes sense is that Jesus is in our game's world, he's one of the gods of love. Right? Not like sexual love like Aphrodite or anything like that, but of love of everything, of everyone. Like how Arden is.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Like
exactly
how Arden
like that.
is.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So like that's always been the way I thought about it. And that's like either through like the church's help or the military church, however this works, I feel like they're going to be one of our allies in the Great Battle. Because in the campaign, we have a couple like big looming questions, right? Right? Like Tiamat. What does Tiamat have to do with all this? Because all we know so far is that we have attacked, or we have killed one of her sons, and then immediately the other one took us prisoners.
Yeah.
So there's stuff on that front.
Yeah.
Another question.
There's that underlying thing, which Tyler, speaking of that, the reason
you don't even know about that, is crazy.
The reason why I said that the short story book that I started us on was a perfect tie to our campaign was for that reason alone. Is because the blue dragon that is in that story, one of his lines talks about being the son of Tiamat. Or one of the many sons of Tiamat. And I was like, that is just the perfect tie into all of this. So.
Great tie.
And it really was.
Yeah, it really was. It literally, it came out of nowhere. But then as I like kept looking at it and research, and not really researching, but like looking at the book more and seeing like his like voice lines and whatnot, I was like, okay, let's see what he has. And I found that, and I was like, oh, I have to say this one. Like I have to do this.
And then one of the other big questions is a name you had said earlier, There's Dune.
Yes.
What happened there? right? Like we saw a
what
flashback.
really happened? Yeah, what really
Exactly.
happened with that? And yes, that was
That's a good
also
question.
that was also in episode 5 of the prologue of Event Horizon.
Yep.
That is where most of the questions that you are asking about happen in that episode.
That's true.
Pretty much, because that was entirely improvised. And I think was actually a really good improv on my part.
Yes, it was. I thought it was great because you came up with a list. Well, here, like just on my front, you came up with a list of gods in basically no time flat, and this was before we were actually using Chat GPT to help us.
Mm-hmm.
So you came up with that in like no time flat. You came up with what was going on, the like quick snippet of what Hyperion actually saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think you even went into detail as much as like what he was wearing, being the royal guard or some shit.
Yeah. I think I did.
You know,
being a royal
and the
guard
fact that
member,
there were 2 other guards at the door whenever they slammed shut. Yeah, it's like slowly coming back to me. There was 2 other guards whenever the doors slammed shut.
It was
and the last thing they
it
heard
was a
and
really
saw.
good improv on my part. That was
Yeah.
really good. I
Like,
pretty,
that
I
was
pretty
awesome.
much, so for Tyler, who hasn't seen the episode or any of this knowledge, and for you guys as well, if you have not seen those yet, as well, and just hopped into the podcast to be like, yeah, what are these nerds talking about?
Go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. Links will be in the description down below to both the prologue and the main campaign. But I improvised that the legendary being that was in one of the, which I retconned a little bit a few times actually. Hyperion was inside the legendary weapon known as Event Horizon that William used to have at this point. So little spoilers on that part. But he was a legendary royal guard to one of the deities, and during the event that took place years ago, he was a witness to the inevitable lockup of one of the gods in the world of Elloria. Who they have no idea how or why he was locked up. It just happened, and they could hear like his, not really screams for help, but they could definitely tell that he was in pain and something was going on behind the doors. So they busted through the door, and what they could see was a giant table with all the gods surrounding this table, and the god, which we found out way later in the story, was actually known as Pilar, the sun god, who then was then chained and locked up and transformed into Tharizdun, the chained oblivion. So, yeah, there's that little part there. But what Hyperion was able to see was most of the faces and some of the reactions by all of the gods. Some were against it, some were for it, and then there was the not really a revolt, but somewhat of that, which kind of got tied into a little bit later on in the prologue, that then led to some of the stuff that's going on with Zarlius. So that is where that happened, and what happened was Hyperion was pushed out of the room, so he couldn't see them fully lock and chain up his god, his master, before him. The doors shut, and they were completely pushed out. Him and a few others were completely pushed out of the room, and the door was locked with that. And obviously that was a brief kind of summary, but within the episode itself, it was more detailed, more stuff to be explained, and it was really, really good. So Hopefully,
from all
there's another
that,
scene later down the line that's like that.
oh yeah,
Maybe from a different point
but
of view.
that would be really cool to see. But from all that, a couple episodes after that, we found out that there was a war because of this.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, and the timeline to me that I'm kind of piecing together now, because both as William and as player, I don't know the whole timeline, right? So
Your guess is as good as mine.
exactly. So there was the lockup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which in
We don't.
you know what?
We don't know what year. We don't know what
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, we don't know what year, we don't know what day, but somehow, some way, the people. Where's my notebook? I need to find that stuff. The people of Nox have an account of this somehow in
in
Umberfall.
in Nox and Lux, yes. It would be both. It would be both.
I didn't know about Lux.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we want to know
Okay.
about
Okay,
Lux at the
that's
time,
fair.
but yes, they would know as well.
Let's see. So it was called the catastrophe event. That's how the people of Nox look at it. And then there was the invasion, right? The invasion was and then there was the invasion, and that was the massacre. That's whatever we found out through the tragedies of the past episode.
Yeah.
Now, from there, everything kind of starts to get blurry. So is it the lockup, the massacre, then the war? No.
Wait, lockup, massacre, then the war.
That's see that
Is that the link that you have?
and both in William's head as well.
Okay. So the lockup, then the massacre, and then the war. It could be.
Yeah, because like that's even how I have.
Yeah.
Like that's how I kind of have it like written down in my notes from like going to the library and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No. No, bro, you're good. So, like, whenever we were in the library that was telling us about, the veil is, or not the veil is in the city, the catastrophe event, the evasion, the curse or the prophecy, and then source, all this stuff they were telling us about. I was writing down notes, and whenever I was writing those down, I was trying to figure out the timeline of it all. And so I was like, okay, the lockup, the massacre, the war, or maybe it was the lockup, the war, and then the massacre, or what if the war was first, and then it was this, and then that? So there's all that. There's those questions that can hopefully be answered later on.
Mm-hmm.
On top of like trying to figure out why the people of Nox turned on each other. And the ultimate question is there going to be another war?
All right, I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna be getting off, Phil.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Y'all have so much fun.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for hanging out with us, though.
Yeah, no.
You're so very welcome.
It's definitely fun.
All right, good night, old man.
Good night.
Night. All right.
And that's how he leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
so possibility. There's always a possibility for that. It has somewhat been hinted at that there is a most likely possibility that there will be one. But will that take place? Not entirely sure quite yet. I I think it really just depends on how the some of the events take place, but then also I think how some of the villain interactions possibly might take place to where it might
Okay.
lead to a couple of things. Because we've already had one. Because we've already had one that was done, which is how you guys got into your little scuffle with.
Oh, with death?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's because I'm not a happy camper whenever I get set up.
Yeah. So, well, that's what you think, but
Man, we just sort of walked into it.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence.
Yeah, that's the funniest part is that like, all right, so folks, so like after that episode, he told me that like she was just there. Like if you would have watched what happened,
yeah, if you would have watched the
he
end
told
story.
me, yeah, he said if you would have watched the end story, you would have figured out that was just them meeting. She had no idea y'all were following her.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Death had no idea you guys were coming. There. He was just there.
Yeah.
And like if you guys actually look at it too, like as you guys watch the episodes and you get to that part, if you can piece stuff together, you can definitely see that that thing took place while they were somewhere else. And by the time that you guys got to where he was, she was already gone. Mm-hmm. So, and I literally said that he was literally like, when you see him, it looks like he's pondering about what just transpired. Like he was trying to figure out what did they just talk about? How is he going to notify?
Look it into the thing.
How is he going to notify the others and all this other stuff? And then you guys attacked him. So
it's up there.
So yeah, there's that. So that's why I was saying like it all just depends on what comes back later on. If information travels into the right hands, maybe that or the wrong in that point where a war breaks out again, then yeah, there's a possibility. But
so
as of right now, no idea.
Was there a possibility of Death identifying who William was in that fight? Because we know who his dad is because we had that conversation whenever Sarkesha and William got into their little scuffle about Sarkesha lying to him. So we know who.
Yeah. No, that was.
We know who his dad is.
That was pretty good.
And
I love that one too.
Now
there are some really
awesome.
Dude, okay, no. So yeah, before we get into that, again, everybody who has stayed for this long, if you have, thank you. But one more time, I keep saying this every time we end our sessions and everything like that. I try to say it to everybody.
YouTube videos.
I always say this to everybody and everybody that is a player and just in general. After we're done recording and everything, what do you guys think of the session? What do you guys think of the story so far? And then honestly, now, I'm going to say this now, Nate, one more time before we ask everybody else later on that's a player. We are now 21 episodes in fully. 21 episodes
crazy.
In fully. What do you think of the story so far?
So far, I love the story. It's partly because of the stuff I've been working on my side, and partly because of the story and like just the way it's going, right?
The story is going in a fun direction.
Yes, it is, and like this is my side, right? This is my player side. This is William's side of it so far. Coming into this, right? William was a very hot-headed, like essentially a punk kid who got told go do a job by yourself, and he wasn't used to that, right?
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that you'll find out later on about William and Fuller and the way that they grew up, and you'll find out the reason why William had to come on this mission alone. And then from everything happening from like William being really protective over Layla at Dragon's Rest and Mumbo and Blep and making sure that they were always taken care of to the point of even sleeping in a dog pile with them.
I also think that that's another thing too, is you guys haven't really been around or discriminated against the races that you've come across.
Well, yeah, but I also think that's just because we have, like, before we even started the campaign, we all came together and we were like, hey, look, we understand that there has to be a certain amount for the fantasy world.
Well, yes, but
none of us really want it there.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think that is good. It will come up at some point, obviously, because that's just how the areas, wherever they end up traveling to, maybe they might.
And I mean,
you never know. They might not even go to those places.
And let's be honest, like we haven't really talked publicly about like what our rule set is, right?
No,
and I think like right now is a very good time to do that.
True, but I think it's also I do think that certain things probably need an episode to themselves as well.
Yeah,
to talk about certain things.
Here,
that way
I'm
we're
just
that way we're just talking about it for the entire time.
Yeah.
But also because since this is our first podcast episode and everything like that, and it has
we have to clarify something.
Yeah, it has dragged on for a while. But to clarify just a few things, really, is it's a home game. It is completely home brewed as well.
Yep. 100%.
100%. There's
like we were talking about earlier in the episode, where no one's rule lawyers here because the rules will really change week to week basis as we find out more, as we learn more as both players and DMs. Because I've DM'd, I'm a player right now. Trevor's played, he's playing right now, and he's a DM. Right? Tyler, he's a DM and he's a player.
Yeah.
So
it's wild.
As all of us are learning, we're all collaborating at the same time and like being like, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think this would work better than what we're having going on right now?
So that is another good topic, is because I have mentioned this multiple times to my friends who are the players and everything. I am creating this world, not by myself. They have
and then after this, I'll get back to my thoughts on the campaign.
Each of them have a hand in creating this campaign. Because once we get to certain areas in the world, they would have been all created by these players. John, on the other hand, is a nomad. He doesn't really have a home. So he's been moving from place to place for a while. So if we ever decide to find out if John has a homeland, we'll probably visit it just so that way he has his time to shine in a story moment of that,
maybe
of
he has
caliber.
Maybe he has something like a Kaer Morhen, right? How the Witchers have a castle to go home to in the winter, that type of thing.
Something like that. And then obviously we have one. Arden's place is the next location that you guys are going to be traveling to. So Arden will have most of that stuff come up with. Obviously, I'm going to be helping out in that way because I have a general idea and introduction of this area. And it is going to be emotional and heartfelt, and it'll be fun. But it is going to be mostly and solely created by Arden. And with William here, Nox, the stuff in the void. That is mostly done by him. There are some locations that I have come up with and places.
Umber Falls, I'll say this: Umber Falls was all him, and he did an amazing job.
I have a lot of cities. I have a lot of names, and I have a lot of information on certain cities. So the fact that you guys just went to one of the cities and haven't ventured any further, means that there is more to explore in Nox. But there are still more things from your side to come up.
Which, that's actually, this is going to be a podcast exclusive. There is, in the next episode that's fixing to come out, there is a moment where I tell Arden to check his text messages because there is something additionally he sees in William's journal that Zarlis does not, and I couldn't say it out loud.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So I didn't even tell you what it was. Like, I didn't even text you and let you know.
No, I have no idea.
Come on. So this is even his first time finding out. The two things he saw was in like very dark, like it's been pin scratched multiple times. Like he wrote this over and over and over in the same spot.
Yeah.
The word home, and then under it, circled, is called Onyx Hall.
Wait,
and
no.
It's circled a whole bunch.
No, you did say that. You did say that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I texted it to him.
No, I remember you saying that
No, did I?
You said the circle part. You didn't say what it was.
Oh yeah, I said you see the circles.
You see the circles a whole bunch. Yeah. But now I know that it was home and Onyx Hall. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So and just a small tidbit on that.
That makes sense though.
I want y'all to, like, right now, I want y'all to think of Sarkesha and William as a Pokemon. Okay? They're in their base form right now. Okay? And after this big boss fight, they're gonna go to their stage 2. Okay? Their stage 2 is going to have themes and elements of this Onyx Hall place. So I want y'all to try to pick out which themes and which elements is of Onyx Hall. Alright? That's going to be the challenge for that. So there's 2 challenges for the podcast people, okay? That's it. And then, sorry, I keep forgetting. My thoughts on, like, what I think. The
on the campaign
emotional,
as a whole,
yeah. So like the emotional growth just in this just in the 21 episodes, the emotional growth that William has had to go through has literally been child, somewhat older brother, straight to grown man.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. In a short amount of episodes, and technically in game time, a short amount of time.
Yeah, in the span of, we could call it the first month.
Yeah.
In the span of the first month, all that happened because it went from Will just showing up, killing a whole bunch of zombies like it wasn't nothing, you know, going on about everything else, being very arrogant and cocky about shit, to the point of almost dying from a lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost costing his friends his life whenever he lost control of himself during the Sparkrender fight. So with all that stuff, and then the 6 months of reliving the massacre, on top of finding out it was all real and all that shit, right? That is, I like it a whole bunch because like it makes me think about that shit too. Because I'm like, damn, bro, like I would not want to be in this fucking situation.
No.
And like,
I think that's a good way of showing that this world is not okay.
Yeah, and like that's what I was gonna say. Like that's why I brought up the rules, is because one of the things we talked about was having it be a customized Grimdark setting. Right?
Yeah, essentially.
Where most people know Grimdark is like fucking cutthroat and brutal, we have it customized. Where our world is still brutal, it's still like we can still obtain injuries such as, and like that's kind of what the significance of Will losing his eye, Arden losing an arm, Zarlis losing a leg. that's what the significance of that is like showing that we're not, just because we're the main characters doesn't mean we have fucking plot armor.
You guys are damaged.
Yeah.
Like, literally and figuratively.
And so, like, not only is it going to be, like, one, the way I'm thinking about it is, like, it's going to be a good perception for, like, whenever we're doing things, right? So, like, whenever the group is going on about these things, like, after they've, you know, done whatever they need to do in Black Hollow, get herald as that hero's Black Hollow and move on to the next town.
Yep.
You know, what the fuck are they going to do?
Yep.
They're a bunch of ragtag idiots who have emotional problems.
Yep.
And everyone's like, oh, thank you so much. And they're like,
yeah. No, that
like
is
a bunch of shell-shocked warriors, you know?
So yeah, that whatever reveal is going to happen at the very end of this first section or story arc, again, taking the whole mindset of anime and just books and stories and all that. So we have story arcs, we have sagas, and we have the entire campaign. So with this being the first set, which started with the Clockwork catastrophe part at the beginning to whenever we finally finish this part, this is one first set. So if we're taking terms from One Piece, this is our Romance Dawn. This is our first section. So the first chapter, pretty much. Or that would be the entire prologue, technically. If you want to take the first 10 episodes of the prologue, that is our Romance Dawn. That is our first chapter of the campaign. Everything after that...
now I understand.
We're in the East
it's
Blue
the prologue
right now.
in chapter 1.
Yes.
Okay.
So right now... Yes, so...
That was literally what I was thinking. I was like, is it like East Blue?
Yes, so right now, technically, what you guys are in right now is our East Blue. So, the first original thing.
Sorry. Small anime discussion real quick. I saw something that I thought you would fucking flip out about.
Mm-hmm.
So, devil fruit users, right? They can manipulate how that element that they control affects other people. Right?
Essentially.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So that means like Shanks is never gonna get burned by his own fire, or fire in general.
No.
Or whoever has control over fire. I can't remember if it's Shanks or Ace. Ace. Okay. Yeah. So like that, right? Or like Sanji with his legs.
Yeah.
I
cannot wait for you to learn.
Fruit.
I cannot wait for you to learn more about
water,
Sanji.
Right?
There is not. There has not been one.
Are you sure?
Yes. There has been fan adaptations, and there has been hints to one possibly, but there has not been one confirmed.
So this is the idea I saw, right? Whoever controls the water devil fruit is the biggest asshole in the world. Mm-hmm. Because they're the reason why devil fruit users can't swim.
Yeah, essentially.
If we're going along the lines that devil fruit users can manipulate the way that it affects, let's just say just other devil fruit users, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That means that whoever controls the water thing is a fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. That was it.
But yes, no, it's not confirmed, but it's been alluded to that there's a possibility. So there's a possibility, but it's not confirmed.
Yeah.
Also, because there's more lore that you have not gotten to yet.
Yeah, no.
So that's another thing. But yes, essentially, the current story arc you are on right now, or you guys are on right now, and the next couple. So, going to Arden's place, and wherever you go after that. This is essentially your guys' East Blue section.
Okay.
So think it as
Well, I was thinking like
the
this
prologue,
is going to be chapter 1 of a book. You know what I'm saying? So like
so
prologue was the prologue. This is going to be chapter 1. Gardenia is going to be chapter 2. That type of thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
Essentially
do I have
like
it
that,
slightly off?
Yeah, it's slightly, but yeah, it's essentially that. Yeah.
Okay.
Where yes, every major city or location would be a next chapter. Essentially, kind of. And stuff
Okay.
like that. But yeah, to essentially to put it in terms for people to understand, our prologue is the
Yeah, sorry,
prologue.
our brains
or
are like, how do we say
how
it?
do we specify this? So again, prologue is technically the prologue or our chapter 1, essentially. Or our chapter 1 is the current story arc that they are in right now with Black Hallows. So there's that. But I do think that there's something. Obviously, there's going to be. I don't know how you guys are going to handle it. Obviously, because it's a ragtag group of people. Y'all just saved a city, and you don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And then when you leave, you're going to go to another one. Nobody has an idea who you are. So it's going to be this thing where you guys have to come to terms with each place you visit. Nobody knows who you are quite yet. You guys aren't a household name yet. You don't even have a name yet. So
yeah, which is another crazy thing.
yeah.
So we could literally just be identified by one person.
Yeah. You could be like, oh,
we're like the people that roll with Bird.
Yeah, the roll with Bird, and you just turn around and you see the fucking Twilight Owl.
Yeah, I was talking about Fuller, but yeah, the fucking Sparkles too.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to the story that is still yet to be told. Still yet to be thought of as well.
Yeah.
So,
but that's just the great part that we're doing so far is we didn't have Black Hollow planned out.
Nope.
You had
I had the tower
during the prologue.
I had the Clockwork Tower. Yeah. That was the next location. It. Yeah, the next location after the prologue was the Clockwork Tower, and that was
and it. So it was only a handful of weeks between the last episode of the prologue and the first episode, and then the second episode, which is whenever we had to leave the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And
which honestly, I'm glad that it was only two episodes.
Yeah.
For that, because it was going to be a short one anyway. But I'm glad that it only took 2 episodes.
You did a really good job of doing that so fast and actually making a town that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have it make sense in the layout in your head whenever you're describing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're describing the gates, you're like, okay, you can see the gates. You can see how the town's kind of centered out in the forest, how the trees are all moved and shit like that.
There is a river running through the town as well.
Yeah.
So
even that with the red tinkered in.
Every time I tell you guys you're going over a bridge, it's because there's a river flowing through.
The river. Yeah. Okay.
So when you guys go when you guys go to the blacksmith, you're going over the bridge. You're going over the river to get to him.
Okay.
So it would make sense that he would have the water well in his place nearby the river. He could get water close by.
And just other small details, I always forget his name. The dude that's working on the cart.
Alir.
Yeah. So with Alir, right? The first time we went to him, he was fucking shell shocked that I just dropped 45 grand in front of him.
Yeah.
He was like, the fuck do I do with all this? I'm like, build me a cart. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come back a few days later and this dude just looks fucking dead ass exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you put that little detail on it because he was working on it day and night because of how much money this fucking shit is.
Yeah, it's because you gave him a lot of money. He's going to put his back into it. He's gonna work on it.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get help from anybody he can. So there is another craftsman. You guys have not met them yet. So there's another craftsman that he probably talked to say, hey, I have a big project, can you help me? And then you also mentioned the alchemist.
Yep.
So he has probably also talked to the alchemist as well. And he has probably also talked to the blacksmith as well, because the blacksmith is nearby. So there are people.
Everyone's getting a cut on this shit.
Yeah, so everybody can definitely see that he needs help.
Yeah.
But it is at a good cost because you did give him a lot of money, and
A lot of money.
from what you can tell, I'll say this as another little tidbit. From the last time you talked to him, you can definitely tell that he is definitely going to spread the wealth with everybody. And he's not he's not going to keep it for himself.
Which is like,
he's going to share it with everybody who has helped him. So there will be names that will be dropped for people that have helped. So that'll be the thing. Is like
that'll be a fun fact to say about like, William.
If you haven't met anybody and I drop a name, it's because they helped out. So
yeah, okay, that's dope.
Yeah, it's like if you haven't met them yet. So like I said, there's another craftsman. You just haven't met them yet because they're on the other side of the village. So one's more. I would say
that's
Lear's
definitely
more
one thing
central.
I'll say about Will. Okay. That's one thing I'll say about Will is whenever he's like doing business with a merchant, whatever he gives that's that merchant's problem. He doesn't give a shit. It's not in his hands anymore.
Yeah.
But there, like one thing that I definitely want to show is like just because
I was gonna say, but seeing this human,
yeah,
pretty much almost
like, just
dead.
Because, like, between like we were talking about earlier, like the growth in Will, and then just his innate nature and thought, just to be like, oh fuck, is this person okay?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the thing of like why he probably ultimately adopts Nefri, why he adopted Name. You know, he's just like, I'm not gonna leave you here by yourself. If anything, I'll turn you into what I am. You know, because like there's the Gilded Gallows that we have is a separate thing from the Faerun Gilded Gallows. Now, the original D&D Gilded Gallows is like, you can think of them as like your typical mercenary band, right? Like bandit
assassins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's mostly on the assassin side, but then they do have a little bit of mercenaries. They do have a little bit of thieves. They have the Gilded Gallows covers a variety of things. Yeah. This one, however, is modified.
Yeah, ours is way different.
Where it's the same, it has the same groups, but there's a few more. There's a few more that do more stuff. So.
And not only that, but like the Gilded Gallows is another thing that I personally have like a huge hand in. With like the way that like their laws and their tenets and the way they run is they are, at least William's part. William's part is based out of Whitestone. Okay. And they are more or less like the law and order. Whenever the politicians can't handle something because of legality, they'll get the guild to take care of it. And that's not necessarily all the time murder. It could be assassinations, obviously. It could be coercion. It could be maybe run up somebody's gambling debt. That way they can't pay, X, Y, and Z. Even to the point of having guild members and politicians to have like the guild in that higher status. I base them heavily off of Assassin's Creed and the real life Assassin's Creed. Now, both of those have major philosophies of working in the dark to do the right thing. So they're the ones that you can kind of think of them like the French Foreign Legion, right? They won't have a problem going into a village and wiping it out if that's what needs to happen. But if they think that it is not the right thing to happen, they'll take it out on the person trying to hire them because that person's obviously doing the wrong thing. And so it's a big underground like shift of both political power and just personal power with the Gilded Gallows.
Yeah.
And that is the organization that William, Fuller, and John is a part of. On top of, in the prologue, William calls out for help, which is why Fuller's here.
Essentially,
Yeah, essentially. That's what we're going with anyway.
Essentially, that's what happened. Yep. Message was received.
He got to contact both his adopted father, Ander Blackwell, and who we don't know too much about. We don't even know what his race is. We just know his name right now. At least y'all do.
Yeah, for Ander, yes, yeah.
Yeah. But he also made contact with one person who I think is going to be a fun character to bring back up. Well, the twins are going to be fun to bring back up.
Which
Amethyst and Sapphire.
Which that came out of nowhere as well. That was completely improvised as well. Yeah. And the fact that they are twins was improvised as well. Because it was your conversation with Mumbo. And he was colorblind for a second.
No, there's fucking two of them.
I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But no, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their story, all that stuff, whenever we get to that, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, their story's gonna be fun to tell.
Which that's gonna be hopefully a really fun arc that's gonna be that's gonna be what I think
hundreds of episodes away.
Oh yeah, I know.
For sure.
That arc I think is gonna be just the funnest for me, because I think we're going to actually be able to knock out 90% of our combat and have it just be roleplay.
Mostly roleplay.
To the point, because what I'm thinking right now, right, is take some and welcome everyone to how I make shit. What I'm thinking
welcome
is
to my TED Talk.
take bits and pieces. Take bits and pieces from the new heist book that came out, and have it be like where maybe Amethyst and Sapphire, like whenever we get back to Whitestone, or if we get back to Whitestone, or wherever they're at, maybe they're in Elloria somewhere, right? They're in a covert op, like going to this ball or some shit, and so everyone has to be really undercover, not undercover as we can be for this fucking group of us. Right?
Everybody would have to be undercover. Nah, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. It will be.
So
this is one of those things that is set in stone.
I'm talking
you need
about
to do
not
this.
walking in. Well, I'm just talking about not walking in how we normally look in a building. Walking in with Arden is just a fucking hippie with a stick. Zarlius has a big ass bow and a sickle. I'm over there fucking armed to the teeth and guns.
Yeah.
And John's with a gas sword, we're just like, hey. Everyone disarm, chill out. If you need anything, stick it in William's chest.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely how they're gonna get passed out on a metal detector. Oh, that's funny.
That's for sure.
But have it be like that, where we need to help them go steal the crown, or break into a vault, or something like that. That's what I'm thinking with that, and that's literally how fast I can just shit something out.
Yeah, no, I think
that's crazy.
The story's gonna be fun as we go along. More characters will get introduced. More plot lines would be threaded through as well. And some reoccurring characters might show up again. So, or one-off mentions like Amethyst and Sapphire, Blep and Mumbo, and
Mm-hmm.
possibly, I forgot what her name is. um. Oh god.
Who are you
Runara.
talking about?
Runara.
Oh,
Elder Runara. Yeah, I forgot her name.
yeah. No, she might be a big. She might be a big old ally.
She might be a big help.
Oh man.
Big help later on down the line. But yeah. You guys haven't been back since, and it's been almost like 8 months, almost like 6 or 7 months,
Yeah.
almost like 8 months
6,
now.
7 months at this point.
Yeah. So you
Is
guys don't know
a
what's
fun
going on.
fact. Either the next day in the campaign, either the next day that we're coming into, so either the next time the sun rises or the next time after that. So in 2 days is actually William's birthday.
Mm-hmm. It's a little fun fact. I'm glad you're
Yep.
keeping up with the days.
Yeah, I am. He is at the time 21, and it will be his 22nd birthday.
Nice.
So that will
There's
be
a little.
a fun little interesting thing to see.
Yep. See if anybody brings it up. Most likely Fuller.
Yeah, probably.
Or
And that's
William
another
himself.
conversation.
So
Yeah. No, probably not.
probably not. No.
If anything, Sarkesha will speak on it. Or like that oh okay, I just thought of something. That's what Sarkesha has done every year since William has been born is she goes and gets him a fish. Just one fish. She just goes in the river, finds a fish, and brings it to him. Happy birthday.
You know what? Okay.
I like that. That's
Okay.
cute. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
So fucking that would be hilarious. Fucking Sarkesha comes over, drops the fish, and Fuller's like, "Oh shit, happy birthday!"
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I guess I forgot.
You're
Fuck.
like, oh, the sign of a fish. Guess it's my birthday. I was like, oh,
The
I
year of the
guess
fish
it's
again.
it's that time.
So that's actually something else that is going to be a cool scene that I want everybody to watch out for.
Yeah.
Is between Fuller and William.
Yes. If you
That's
guys
gonna
have
be a really
noticed,
cool one.
if you guys are coming from the episodes, or if you haven't seen them yet, either way, William and Fuller have not had enough time to do a full-on reunion altogether
Properly, yeah.
properly, like talking
Yeah,
to
like
each
they're just like, hey
other,
bro,
or
hey, we got shit.
just like, yeah, they're just like, oh hey, you got something going on, okay, well I'll tag along, like.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened. So
yeah. So having that moment for them to get together, that's something that Fuller's player, no, it's just the stuff. No. That's something that Fuller's character wants to happen, and that's something we're gonna make happen either. I'm thinking probably after the boss fight.
yeah, after the boss fight would be good, or before.
You just broke a pimple right there.
Either one. It just depends.
Either before. Well, I'll tell you this: if you give us time before, fucking make it obvious. Because you know me, I'm stupid.
Yeah. I think there would be time before, because you guys are now going to fight a hag. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Well, actually,
you
know
don't
what?
have to fight. You never know the situation that's
Okay.
going to happen, because I don't know what anybody else is going to do. So
Here's a thought. What if before we leave town, because I know we just left. We're leaving the alleyway of the Crimson Hand right now.
yes, you guys have just left. Yeah, you guys are in the street right now. You have not left the town or the village. You have
Yeah.
not left the village.
So what we can do, okay, is maybe have Fuller and Will go check on the cart,
Mm-hmm.
and like the walk there, that's their time together.
Yeah.
And then, we can either get the cart done, finished, and all ready to go, and then take the cart to the hag, and that way we don't have to fucking go 6 miles on foot. 'Cause I swear to God, I will fucking blink my way through the forest again and leave everyone behind. I'll be right back. Fuck.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, hey,
yeah, I'm
that's how
kidding.
you
I won't
found
actually do that.
That's how you found the village.
That's how
in
I
the first
found the
place.
village.
Yeah.
Because I got mad because John was just sitting there yelling and hitting me. I was like, I'm not gonna be your abusive redheaded stepchild. I'm leaving. And that's what happened. I got on my dog and I left.
Yep.
And like, maybe like us getting in the car, hooking up Sarkash shit, like that's our time to be like, oh shit, like, because Will doesn't have his mask on, so that was actually the first time that Fuller got to see William's face.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
forgot.
just thought about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Because
Um,
I think you mentioned that it was like while you guys were eating, you just took it off.
yeah, I was like, I'd take off because I have to take my mask off to eat. What the fuck?
Well, yes, but I mean, like
Yeah,
in front of the Crimson Hand and Nevri.
yeah. For people who may have missed the description, William's mask is heavily based off of Corvo's mask from Dishonored. But this time, where Corvo's mask was one full piece, kind of patched together, William's was one full steel plate, still in the same shape and all that stuff. Whenever he got hit by the lightning strike from Runara, it cracked his mask in half and broke it.
Yeah.
And that crack is still there, but it's mended together and it's fixed now and all that good stuff. That's probably something we should talk to Fuller's character about.
Mm-hmm.
Is like that, because he only got to see the end of it. So like I literally what he got to see is I turned a corner and he got to see my face.
Yeah.
Or
it was while he was messing around and having his feet up on the thing is when he looked up at you.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't paying attention until you got closer to him. So.
Yeah, so that's something we'll have to talk with him about. Because that can even bring up a moment where like because Fuller just hasn't said anything yet, he's taken aback that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I know right now, y'all the viewers, y'all don't really know that much about the relationship between Fuller and Will, but the way we have this fleshed out is pretty deep. And this is going to be one of the ways that hopefully we get to show this.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you about that?
I think that's a perfect idea. If everybody's going to be there for the game, then splitting up and trying to having the other group split up and try to find John, and having Fuller and William go get the cart sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Because you guys would meet outside of the village anyway. So
yeah.
So I think that is a good idea.
Okay.
It's just
I guess the last
So the other
thing
well,
that
the
go
other
ahead,
thing
go
I
ahead.
do want to say though is, guys, I really don't like splitting up the group as much as I have, but there are times when I
You do a
needed
good
to.
job at it.
There are times when I needed to do it, and I've done a really good job at it. I'm surprised. I'm
Yes,
surprised at
like
how well it has been.
I'll say this, my favorite episode, just out of non-biasedness and my honest truth, is our most viewed episode. And our most viewed episode is with only me and John.
Yeah.
But that was the funniest episode to me.
I honestly have no idea how it has that many views. It has to be the
Me
thumbnail.
neither, and that's
It
crazy.
has to be the thumbnail, and I have no idea why.
People are attracted to that type of shit, man.
I guess the investigation begins and a blood rose. Okay,
Mm.
that sounds interesting.
So I guess the last question I have for you for the night, and then
Yeah.
we can end this.
Yes. And then we can also try to figure out who's gonna join next time.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm
what
guessing.
is the
How
nonsense?
about? Hold on. I was saying, how about this, guys? Where are your two co-hosts?
Yeah.
And everybody else
That's what I figured anyways.
who's the players are gonna be guest joining whenever they can. But it will just be us two for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So you gave William a small, very brief, kind of apt for Nocturne description of what the Silent Fury is. But can you give the rest of us what is that whole thing with the Silent Fury?
So my idea of that. Well, one, it came up as one of the conversations for Nocturne. And that is just how he addressed Sarkasha. So I figured that with that little nod and nickname, that would have a tie or will tie into some certain ability, form, or just knowledge of a past.
Okay.
That if we are going in that way, there are some characters that have not been introduced that have certain companions. It could just be another nickname for them.
Okay.
To where
so like maybe a nickname among their kind?
Yeah, to where they're all named something different, but Sarkesha's was Silent Fury.
What so my thought on it, like this whole time, the way I've been thinking about the whole Silent Fury thing is like Sarkesha earned that name.
Yeah.
Right, because she's not with William 24/7.
Yeah.
And she wasn't able to be with him for William's safety during the prison time.
Yeah.
So maybe like the way I've been thinking about it is that she earned that name in Nox, and throughout whatever's left of the residents of Nox that know her, you know, that's what they call her. That's why Nocturne refers to her as that. Or
yeah,
you know, that's the way I thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that works too. To where it's a Noxian name. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
So, little small name drop. You know, like maybe that's what Dorzet thinks of her as. Like that's the name he has for her.
Yeah.
You know,
anybody that is from Nox would know Sarkesha as the Silent Fury, as well as any other companion of certain people by whatever name they are given.
And those certain people will be revealed at a later date, folks. That's just something you'll have to stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
Oh yeah,
for sure. because man, was it hard to just tease one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode of our podcast. I know it lasted a whole lot longer than we thought, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, I was.
But that's fine. It's the first pilot episode. That's cool.
They always are longer.
They're always longer. We will try
And
to
probably
keep
the best, let's admit it.
Yeah, we will try to keep them to maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2, just because that way it's a little bit shorter than our normal
More
D&D
time
sessions.
manageable.
More time manageable. That way, if people need to go mid-session, like Tyler had to towards the end here, then yeah, hopefully we could try to do that. But hour and a half, 2 max from now on.
Yeah.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, the thumbs up button if you did. Again, in the comments down below. I guess there is the 2 challenges that we have for the actual episodes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
what are those? Do you remember?
What would we have for the podcast itself?
For the podcast itself, okay. This is what I want y'all to do, okay? Anytime. Okay, yeah, I got this. Wait, no, fuck, that's still for the actual campaign. I was gonna say, anytime William drops an F-bomb, leave that many exclamation marks.
Yeah. And I'll
There's a lot of exclamation marks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also kind of forgot what the challenges were. I knew one of them, but I'm not sure if I was right about that. But yeah, so
that's okay.
I will put them in the description down below too.
The first one is whenever a elemental guardian gets introduced, drop the number they were introduced in. Right. So Nocturne on episode 10, you're gonna put a number 1. All right.
That was the one that I remembered.
Yeah. So, now you made me forget the second one. I was literally thinking about the second one, and now I just forgot. Fuck. Fuck it. The second one is.
It's in the episode. We'll figure it out.
It's in the episode.
You guys
y'all know what to do.
Yeah. Well, we know what the second one is. Totally. But for the podcast itself, I want us to have our own little goals or something. Or challenges.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's go with for the podcast. If we can get 10 views and 5 likes, okay? This is a low bar I'm setting, guys. This is a low bar I'm setting.
For sure.
10 views and 5 likes, okay? Me and Trevor here will do a pilot episode on the adventures of Mumbo and Blep since they've been gone. Or since William has been kidnapped.
Okay.
Does that sound good with you?
Okay. A Blep and Mumbo adventure pilot episode. You know what?
So that's going to be the goal for this episode.
Yeah, I think
10 views and 5 likes. That's it, everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone who's catched the live stream, thank you so much for catching it live. If you want to go back and rewatch us be a bunch of dummies, go ahead and do that whenever the actual video drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
You look to check all of the episodes and the prologue is in my channel's description, or not my channel's description, my channel's bio.
Yeah.
So go there, you'll be able to find the link. Go there, subscribe, do all this shit. You know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's the
I
live
will,
stream out, guys.
and
Bye.
from my side, I will link his live stream down below as well. All right, well, see you guys.